Welcome into KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week. Coming to you live from Skyridge High School as our 6A semifinals, quarterfinals are underway. Thank you for joining us, everyone. We got the Skyridge Falcons ready to take on the Pleasant Grove Vikings. What was a stellar region matchup. We get a rematch of it in the quarters. Dane Stewart, Moose Bingham with you. Moose, this game went to overtime in the regular season. Could we have more theatrics in this one? We'll find out. It should be a fun matchup tonight.
I absolutely think there will be more theatrics, and there's more Division I talent on this field that you can count. We've got premier offensive tackles, phenomenal defensive linemen, incredible receivers, great quarterback play. I mean, this is the place to be on Friday night.
Well, we'll start by introducing the Pleasant Grove Vikings as Skyridge getting ready to run on. We're going to introduce the Skyridge Falcons. You got fireworks going on. You got smoke coming out. It's almost like it's Miami. Look, what a year for Skyridge. This is a team 9-2 overall. They were 3-2 in region play. The surprising loss to PG. But look, Jackson Stevens has been fantastic. Carter Sheffield's been great. They've got 3 receivers over 750 yards receiving on the year. This is a dynamic offense for the Falcons.
Yeah, Trent Call, the independent, another receiver out there. And their defense, you can't look away from them. Deshaun Toliolu, Ian Mariner. There's so many good players out there, and they're deep as well. Skyridge has had 14-plus transfers this year come in that want to be part of a state championship team, and that's the expectation at Skyridge. Win state. They got punched in the mouth in region, and no one was quite expected for that.
You talk about the expectation. They are your defending 6A state champs. So, yeah, there is an expectation. They want to defend. Well, they got to defend home field. We talk about Pleasant Grove. They came to this field just a couple weeks ago. They fell down in that contest. They came back. They put on a 21-8 fourth quarter. The Vikings did. Carson Rasmussen, what a year for the transfer to PG. He's a junior. But, man, he has been dynamic this year, has thrown for 19 touchdowns, ran for another 14. He has been a problem for most defenses this year.
Carson Rasmussen is the glue that holds this team together. They were so thankful to get him here. He originally transferred during basketball season, and the basketball team at PG was like, who is this kid? And he ended up starting within a few games. Same thing happened with the football team. They're like, who is this kid? Alex Caressa got him. He molded him, and he plays like Caressa now. Just a gritty quarterback that you love to watch and does not know the words give up or can't do. Carson Rasmussen is one of my favorite players in the state to watch. But watch out, there's another quarterback on the other side that is big, strong, and throws the ball a mile. We're talking about one of the top quarterbacks, Jackson Stevens, a transfer in his own right from Davis, who's playing just down the street right now. But Jackson Stevens has more yards than just about anyone in the country right now.
It is 2 dynamic quarterbacks, one program that's been at the top for a long time, another will try to get to the top as we are underway here from Skyridge High School. This kickoff into the end zone for the touchback. Skyridge won the opening toss. They deferred, and so it will be Carson Rasmussen and this Viking offense to take possession first. A couple other guys we'll throw out there to keep eyes on tonight. Aiden Franson, the senior, he's been a great back for them out of the backfield. Cale McCoy, this is one of my favorite players. He doesn't get talked about a lot, but he lines up on both sides of the ball. McCoy's been fantastic, as well as Makai Peterson. There's a lot of talent on the offensive side for PG as they're wearing the white and blue, and they'll start on the 20 as first snap. And this is the guy we talked about into the open field across the 30, and that's Rasmussen taking it for a first down.
Rasmussen is fired up. He's doing the big steps. He's getting it done. But that's how you like to start the game off. Get your quarterback loose and ready. This spread offense from PG is difficult to defend.
Well, you know the clock you see on your screen, unofficial. At times we start it early, stop it late to keep it trued up as this one is out of play. Boy, Rasmussen took a shot, too, as he was letting that pass go. It wasn't late, but he gets up and he felt that one.
Foti Moiai was doing a great job mirroring the receiver, getting down. Fantastic play, but this Skyridge defense, their strength is in the front 7. They've got multiple kids with multiple offers down there, including teams like Cal with Deshaun Toliolu. And Ian Mariner has SUU, Idaho State. There's a lot of different players in the front 7 that you have to be aware of. And this is an interesting match because PG loves to throw the ball.
2nd and 10. Pleasant Grove going to try to run it. Boy, that was a great job bursting through. That was Toilolo. You talked about him, Moose. This kid is a junior. But, boy, he looks like he's been playing this game for a long time.
We were watching him before the game. 0 out there. He's got a goatee. He's got hair out of his helmet. You just love to see it.
And he's got definition. Like, that's a big cat. And he flies around.
I'm like, that's a grown man.
I told you, I'm like, it looks like he's playing JC ball. Like, he looks like a grown man. 3rd and long here for Pleasant Grove. Got to get it to 47. Troy Lolo around the edge. Rasmussen gets it away. This caught, and it's a 1st down and more. It's Sean Cottle, the receiver, across midfield. 1st down, PG.
What I love about Rasmussen, he makes the O-line look good. How you do that as a quarterback, you get the ball out of your hands quick. And PG is stepping up and taking off right where they left off against this Skyridge team. They have to find answers for what's going on with PG.
Here's the interesting thing. I mean, how many hits can Carson Rasmussen take? He got our Spark Award when they played the first time because he got hit play after play after play. Can they protect him long enough to get some of these throws away? They do it again here, and this is Makai Peterson. Close to a 1st down. He'll pick up 8.
Man, close to a first, but not quite there. But I'm impressed with the chunk yardage getting taken up on 1st down. It's been an interesting play. What PG's trying to do is spread out Skyridge's defense, get guys outside so that they can run right down the middle against this ferocious Skyridge D-line.
You know, the thing that stood out to me, I did PG week 1 against Farmington. You were out of town, but their size really stood out to me. It's a big group as they'll stay on the ground here with Wolfgram, and to allow Wolfgram taking this up for a gain of a yard.
To Wolfgram, he's so funny. He's committed to BYU on a full-ride baseball scholarship. But I went to PG earlier this year, and he's like, I want to play football too. Hanneman, I could be that.
3rd and 1 here for the Vikings in Skyridge territory. Skyridge showing a lot of pressure here. Coach Walkenhorst, what a job he's done building PG. It's been his best group yet. Play clock down to 7. They'll stay on the ground. 1st down, PG. Boy, I thought he had it. Yeah, I think he does. Right at the line, but they will give him the 1st down.
So Coach Walkenhorst, very interesting hire coming from the JUCO ranks. He coached at Lone Peak, but he got to PG and he's like, give me 3 years and we're going to show you what you can do. And we've seen the evolution of this team. Really amazing story.
It's their most wins since 2013 this season. Rasmussen in trouble, and he goes down. The pressure there coming from Skyridge's Iacopo Malufau.
The sack leader for this team. Iacopo, absolutely stud. And you'll see there's a lot of juniors that are on the rush edge of this team.
Iacopo Malufau, my apologies. We went through names, but it can be a little harder when the lights are on. That's a big loss. Loss there of 8 yards on the sack of Rasmussen. And look, they've had chunk yardage, but you don't want to be playing from behind schedule here against this defense.
Absolutely not. Every series is imperative.
Rasmussen looking for that out. That ball, I think, was caught. Boy, what a grab. Going to the dirt to scoop that one out was Makai Peterson again.
Makai Peterson is everywhere. The 6'3", 200-pound player. He also plays corner. He is an absolute stud.
3rd and 9. They've had 3rd and longs before. They've converted them. Can they do it again here?
In this situation, I think it's 4-down territory as well, Dane.
Rasmussen scrambling around. Looking just beyond the stretch. Was looking there for McCoy, and it's incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
Griffin Kuntz, great job in coverage. I thought he was there just a bit early, but that's okay. If the refs don't call it, let's keep rolling.
That's right. You thought 4-down territory, Moose. You look to be right. Offense on the field.
Interesting formation here, though. Watch the sneaky punt.
We don't punt on 4th downs. Rasmussen running out of time. Flag coming in on the play as our clock, we had a little malfunction there. 7:42 left on the clock here, but a flag downfield. That tends to not bode well for defenses.
The defense is already off the field. They feel pretty confident in that.
I think they're coming back on. As we await the call here.
Let's see.
Kind of the general area, I thought this would be defensive holding.
Oh, they're going one way.
Boom, look at that, Moose. 1 for 1 tonight,
wow. If you're a Skyridge fan, that's the wrong way.
Yeah, they're not going to like that. Boy, 4th and 9, you've got it, and a penalty will give the first down to PG.
The wind is picking up here.
Yes, it is. They can't get a towel off the field.
Every player's touched that towel at this point. Please get off.
Bunch to the bottom of the screen here. First down for Pleasant Grove. Design run Rasmussen. Boy, he's got a lot of room. Carson Rasmussen inside the 10, and it's 1st and goal Vikings.
Phenomenal tackle there by Mark Baird, the senior defensive back. That was 6, unless 2-4 stops him.
And that's the thing. There was literally, you've heard you could drive a Mack truck. You could literally have driven a Mack truck. There was so much room there for Carson.
We've got 3 golf carts below us, and all 3 of them could have fit side by side.
Side by side,
hole.
no problem.
That's what happens when you start excessively throwing. It's like, hey, we got to get in coverage, and then the run.
Skyridge bringing pressure. Rasmussen looking, end zone. Just a step in front of his target. Was looking for Bronco Winterton. Incomplete.
The whole Winterton family's fun. I played with Braxton, the oldest Winterton. There's been a couple that have gone through snow. And the last one, Bronco, pulling up the rear, named after Bronco Mendenhall.
Oh, I was thinking they were a Ford fan. Ford family?
No. Ford Bronco. Nope.
Tell you, Bronco Winterton, you watch this kid play, you're going to love his game. Physical, 100% effort all the time. Like, he dialed in. He's a fun player to watch. 2nd and goal. They'll go on the ground, cutting through. Boy, and that close. Mickelson almost had a lane to the end zone. He gets a good gain. It'll be 3rd and goal here from the 3.
The interesting thing about this PG team, they are tough. They're hard-nosed.
Yes, yep.
And they love to play. They're all born football players.
Oh, and now you got offsides.
Oh, no.
Carson going with a hard clap there and drew a couple of Skyridge defenders. It can't get a first down here, but it will move it half the distance.
Clapping, you either clap for a moving performance or there's movement in front of you. And either way, claps are a good thing.
Yeah, claps are a good thing. Oh, our clock messed up again. There's 6:40 to go. We're just going to pause ours. We'll let the game clock catch up. 3rd and goal. It's Mickelson to the left of Rasmussen. Look at end zone and just behind his target. Makai Peterson, boy, that was set up well, Moose. Rasmussen just missed him.
He's going to want that one back because this is an imperative play right here, and they may go back to it. You've got a height differential there with Makai.
Yep.
Where he's like, hey, you know what? We've got our 6'3" behemoth, and if you can't match up, it could be a problem.
You also have Sean Cottle, number 2, who's a lengthy receiver, but Coach Walkenhorst going to want to think this one over. It's a big 4th down coming up when we come back. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of the quarterfinals in the 6A state playoffs. Fall in Utah. You get the color on the mountains, the sun's setting here. It's set on the field. Beautiful night for football, although that wind is starting to get a little annoying. We'll see how these two teams deal with it here. It's 4th and goal from just inside the 2 for the Vikings. Mickelson, and he won't get it. Second effort, he does. Touchdown, Pleasant Grove.
Mickelson churning and burning. His legs like 2 pistons in a car. He runs through that defense, and they weren't expecting him to bounce it. That initial effort from that defensive front, phenomenal. But Mickelson was not going to be denied.
I thought that was stacked up. He just kept moving, trying to find a lane somewhere. He did, and PG on the opening drive scoring. That's a good way to start. Point after try here. The kick is up, plenty of leg, and it's good. 7-0. The Vikings take the opening drive, 80 yards, and find the end zone. as they lead Skyridge 7-0.
It's amazing that they were able to do it. The wind really picked up. Dane was talking about it earlier. He's like, it's nice and warm night until the wind came in. And they were able to do that whole drive against the wind, eating up the clock so that they will have the win in the second quarter. Brilliant, brilliant job by PG in this first quarter.
Well, that's what you have to love about it is, you took half the quarter away just like that. And that's a great way to slow down this Skyridge offense. If they don't get the ball, hard for the offense to be able to rack up yards and points, eh?
Yeah, very hard. And I think some of this game is going to come down to penalties. The penalties saved them on that drive and kept them going. So PG has got to feel fortunate for that, but they were able to execute, get the ball across the end zone, and put 6 on the board with a 7th from the beautiful touch of a kicker.
Beautiful touch of a kicker. So 7-0 PG. We'll see what this Skyridge offense has in store as this kick high in the air. It's short. And this will be taken by one of the up back just inside the 20. Return coming near side, tripped up at the 24.
They're going to be talking about that with Chance Peterson later. You got to let the ball go if it's that high. Get up, let your returners step up and take that ball. That's usually the last person you want to catch it, not the up back. It's usually a fullback or a linebacker, and you're like, no.
Look, man, he's a senior. He just had an opportunity to make a play. Come on,
hey.
eh?
I'm not saying I wouldn't
do it. It's his last game on this field. Win or lose, right? You win, you go up to Rice Eccles next week. Last game on this field,
well,
no pressure.
Skyridge has made Rice Eccles another home field advantage for them at this point.
So the Falcons starting at their 24. We get to see Jackson Stevens. They'll go empty here on first down. Moose, you talked about the transfer from Davis High School. First and only year here at Skyridge as he'll throw this back with Bueller. And we'll get back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more.
So Jackson Stevens has a monster arm. He does a great job. He was really impressive with Davis last year. I'm excited to watch him. This is our first time. We're going to see a lot of throws from him. Their running game, they like to spread defenses out just similar to PG, and it's going to be a fun, high-scoring game tonight, Dane.
Completing 63% of his passes on the year, over 3,600 yards passing. As a designed run here, Stevens with a lot of room. Stevens lowering the pads, takes it up to the 45-yard line, first down. Skyridge.
This reminds me of a song, Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better. Jackson Stevens, not known for his running ability, but out of nowhere, gets her done. Way to go, Jackson Stevens, the dual-threat quarterback as of tonight.
Well, that's a great way to keep a defense honest or make them start second-guessing, huh? Is this throw caught by Jack Burke, the senior, able to pick up 5?
What I like to see is how quick this Skyridge offense is going, but you have to be conscientious of your defense. You don't want them too tired. You don't want to see that. But with this PG defense, a lot of the offensive stars are two-way players. So they may want to run it at them as quick as possible and get them back on the field.
Trips to the bottom of the screen here. Stevens will hand off as PG had that edge coming around. They run away from it. They'll pick up 4.
Skyridge has a massive line with Ben Howard and all of these guys. Viliana Fafita. A lot of coaches have called me about him. They really like him. There's so many kids on here that you just love to see. Fangupo. And they have a great old line coach in Bob Stevens as well.
3rd and 1. They'll stay on the ground. First down, PG. You said Bob Stevens is here at Skyridge. Like the Bob Stevens?
The Bob Stevens, the former Alta High coach, the former BYU Cougar, and the man who steps on a golf ball and derailed his NFL career. Bless his heart.
It wasn't that long ago when he was at Alta. Was it Brett Favre who came to Alta, or was it Aaron Rodgers? One of the Green Bay quarterbacks I had heard came when he was there.
It was Brett Favre. It wasn't Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, all right.
Had to think about that.
Stevens looking underneath, and that just incomplete. Good defense there.
Man, Wolfgram ran the route just as good as the receiver.
Yep.
And he saw 6 in his eyes. If he was a little bit taller, a little bit longer, that could have been 6 the other way.
It's one of the things that when you look at Jackson Stevens, 42 touchdowns. On stats, I had him with 12 interceptions reported. That was a higher number than I was expecting because he is, you talk about one of the best passers in the country, certainly in the state. Like, he's really good. That number surprised me, Moose.
Well,
go on the ground here with Sheffield. Not much there.
What I love about Jackson is he gives his guys opportunities and he will pick apart a defense and throw up 50-50 balls. At times, ball doesn't come down by his guy, but he'll keep slinging it.
Well, he is an aggressive quarterback.
Yeah.
And look, I'm going to your point, give my guys opportunities. And sometimes defense makes a play, right? 3rd and long here for the Falcons.
At this point, he only has one FCS offer, SUU, and they're praying that he doesn't get any more.
Yeah, I can understand that. Good pocket here. He's got a man wide open. No one has McClellan. Touchdown, Skyridge.
Trevor McClellan, my goodness. I don't think he could get that open ever. Safety got pulled in, and goodness gracious. That is a tough catch to make when no one is around. It's almost harder to make that catch at the end of the day.
You've got a lot of heads looking around like, what happened? There wasn't a guy within 20 yards.
I think it may have been more.
And just by the way, McClellan is the top receiver for this Skyridge defense or offense. It's not like that's it's not like that's a guy who doesn't get a lot of snaps. That's their best guy, unmarked, down the field on a 3rd and 9.
It used to be that Skyridge was only known for running this kind of corner route. Now they've got plenty of players, plenty of guys that are all balling out.
That flag route, we could call it the Charger Killer. That was the route that ended Zach Wilson's run in the postseason. Zach came back in that semifinal, and that was that post corner from James Palmer. They had time and time again that was the game that Skyridge beat corner. And that was Zach Wilson's last game as a Charger.
In all reality, I am pretty sure James Palmer only ran one route his whole high school career.
I know. And the dude had like 1,000 yards receiving every year.
Every year
it was
we watched
money.
Skyridge, it was like, okay, I don't know what they're going to do on defense, but I know they're going to run this flag route.
Whenever Dusty and I would call a game, every 3rd down was like Palmer flag route. You couldn't do anything about it. It was crazy.
Yeah,
it was
the
awesome.
defense knew it was coming. The announcers knew it was coming.
It didn't matter, man. Didn't matter.
That's a beautiful thing when you can call the play. It was almost like the pick and roll for the Jazz back in the 90s.
You didn't even need to call it. It's like we already know what we're going to do, right?
They could run out there with one receiver, have 11 guys on him, and James Palmer would still come down with that ball.
7 apiece. Hey, great start here. This kickoff into the end zone again. Another touchback.
There's nothing better than having the wind behind you on a kickoff. Just the confidence it brings. It's like through the end zone.
So PG will start once again at their own 20-yard line. Moose, based off what you saw in that first drive, if you're Skyridge defensively, anything you look to do differently here?
So differently, you have to get to the quarterback quicker and save your DBs from coverage. I don't like this trip to the bottom where they've got a 3-on-3. They need another DB over there.
That's what they ran against in that first drive, is this thrown over the middle and a quick tackle made, but they'll pick up 7 yards on the reception there by Peterson.
Whenever you're on defense and you see a trips, you need to have 4 guys over there to take on the pressure.
You know, you hear people in football talk more and more about numbers, and that's what you're talking about there, right, is numbers and where you've got advantage on the field.
Numbers, letters, it's all math, it's all geometry, and it's all playing out before our eyes.
I was always terrible with geometry.
Trigonometry was my game.
2nd and short here. Really, you're a trig guy. Boy, corner's backing off here. Rasmussen. Oh, nice move after that catch. Kel McCoy, first down up to the 35-yard line.
Kel McCoy might get the Scottish treatment if he keeps playing like this. Goodness.
I like that kid.
Yeah.
He doesn't get talked about a lot. Shame on us. I like that kid.
Well, this PG team is elite. It's fun to watch these guys and the offensive output that's going on right now.
They'll go on the ground, making men miss. First down on the run there from Wolfgram. He might just be a football player, Moose.
Wolfgram is mad at me. He's like, I heard Moose is coming to the game. I tagged him in a tweet today. He's like, I can play football. You watch and see.
First down, Rasmussen in trouble. Boy, a bailout throw, and that catch was made. Boy, Tanner Blake able to keep the streak alive here for Carson.
To Wolfgram. With the chagrin from the BYU baseball team, they're like, I hope he doesn't like football that much. We've already gone through this with Jaron Hall.
2nd down. You know, there's something about this PG team where they're just tough. They just don't give up. I mean, that play, most quarterbacks are getting sacked there. And you might get it away, but, like, it's not going to be caught, right? I mean,
it's just a 15-yard difference in what happened there. Wow, that was snapped. Basically, everyone was like, oh, no. I was in the middle of my spiel. Don't snap the ball in that. First mental error from PG tonight.
Yep.
So it takes away the beautiful catch and throw from PG, but sometimes you have those mental errors.
Yep.
But this should be a pretty clean game, seeing as we're at game 13 of the season right now? 12?
This is the 13th game for each of these two teams.
Wow.
Had first-round byes.
For both teams. Must be nice.
Back in Moose's day, you had to play every round of those darn playoffs. They'll run here. Able to slip through tacklers. That ball came out, but able to get back on it was Wolfgram.
Wolfgram was like all part of the plan. I needed that extra yard right there.
So it'll be another 3rd and long here. PG's been really good on long distance downs.
Yeah, they have been. This is not 4-down territory, though, if you're asking me.
Well, and this is, for me, it's like if you're Skyridge, quit stubbing your own toe, right? 3rd and long, get off the field here. See if they can. Inside of a minute to go. Rasmussen stepping up. Has a man wide open. Caught inside the 40. It's McCoy to the 34. First down, Vikings.
Man, the defensive backs are losing track of receivers on both teams tonight.
You know, and it's a lot easier to cover guys when you're standing on top of the press box.
Oh, it's so much easier.
First down.
Oh. Walking Horse is not happy about that one. You may not see a more animated coach than Taylor Walking Horse. Really fun to watch from up here. Not so fun if you're the player.
Fun to watch up here. Not fun to be on that sideline. We talked with PG players after their opening win, and yeah, they kind of knew Coach Walking Horse could get after you.
Yeah, and that's what you like in a coach. Someone that cares. If your coach isn't getting after you, oh my goodness gracious, you might not be good at this sport. 1st
and 15 after that Viking procedure penalty. The false start. Design run. Rasmussen trying to sneak around. He's got the penalty yards back and more. He'll pick up 9, maybe 10 on that run on first down.
He is so smooth out there running. He's like a point guard out there saying, oh, I might distribute the ball or I might take it to the hole. Such a fun quarterback to watch, and only 22 seconds left in the half.
It's another chunk play. They picked up 9. Second down, Rasmussen, eyes downfield, now trying to evade, and he's just going to try to get back to the line of scrimmage there. Not many options on that play.
2-3 yards on that one.
Everything underneath there for PG, really nothing deep. Skyridge had it well defended.
Yeah. And it looks like the defensive backs are clamping down now for Skyridge. Porter Buck Logan is leading the Skyridge defensive backfield. You'll see him make calls, the safety number 18. And it's just fun to see the chess match that's going on before our eyes.
3rd and 8. This could be the last play of this first quarter. Be interesting to see what they try to do here. Into the wind on this 3rd down. Rasmussen running out of time. He meets Toilolo once again. 2nd sack of the game for Deshaun Toilolo. A big loss there on 3rd down. And with that, the first quarter will expire. 7 apiece at the end of one. Skyridge PG. You're watching the quarterfinals of the 6A state playoffs on KSLSports.com. Welcome back, folks. Look, we got 2 more weeks of football. Semis and championships. You want your Igloo. Go to iglooutfitters.com, IGLU. It's going to keep you warm through the rest of the year and beyond. Promise, it's legit. iglooutfitters.com. Use the promo code REWIND for $20 off.
I have worn an Igloo once in my life, and it was a delightful experience.
So much so that Moose is begging to get one, and I don't blame him. We're working on it. We are working on it, Moose. We're trying.
I've got my $20 off code. That's good enough for me right now.
We've got a timeout taken. Boy, I hate to use a timeout on a 4th and 19 coming out of your quarter break.
Yeah, 2 timeouts burnt at this point. But maybe they're seeing something they like. Maybe you're seeing some trickeration.
We'll see. Moose, you calling for something a little special here?
I don't know if I would. I don't have the huevos for that.
Huh? Well, look, if they did it, it'd be taking away a punting situation, which we know how you feel about that.
Don't you dare take away a punting situation from me.
That's why I was surprised you'd even presume such a thing.
Unless the punter's running it, then I'd be kind of excited about that one.
Punting formation here on 4th down. I think there were personnel challenges. I think was the problem is we get this kick away. Oh, my goodness, look at that. That wind certainly helped, eh?
If you're going to kick it into the end zone, might as well do it with style.
Coach, I tried to let up, man, but that thing just carried.
So that was, on my average, another 50-yard punt. Just letting you know, Coach.
That thing came out like a rocket.
Yeah, I think he got a little bit scared of the pressure coming at him. He's like, woo! And that's happened to me a time or two before. It's like, anyone blocking those guys running full speed at me? But that's where acting classes come into play as well.
It's hard to go down when no one's within 5 yards. This isn't soccer, Moose.
Oh, you can.
The second drive of the game here for the Falcons. Drive starting at their own 20.
Going into the win will be a little bit of a different challenge.
Yeah. Stevens. A little screen play set up. Boy, how about blowing that up? What a play coming up there by Gabe McCoy.
Gabe McCoy, my new favorite player with that one. Look, passing protection is not a passive thing. And Gabe McCoy is a defender with a bad intention. Never get in his way. But he blew up the receiver. Boom, goes the dynamite.
You love to see a corner who doesn't just let himself get blocked, right? Like, no, I'm going to get off. Underneath, that caught. Little bit of room here for Jack Burke. He's got a first down up to the 39.
The defender was right in Stevens' face, jumping as high as he possibly can. But Stevens has a release point of almost 7 feet. So you're not going to be blocking that ball easily.
Wow. 6'5", 218 for Jackson Stevens. That's a big cat. Looking underneath. Good defense there. And a flag coming in from the back judge. Riker Mickelson here going to be called for the penalty.
I don't know about that one if they're calling it on Riker. It was a continuation. It's not like you can stop and be like, oh, I wasn't trying to tackle you. But we'll see what happens on that. Well, that's what happens.
Yeah, pass interference. And look, the back judge, he's probably seeing that arm around the hips. And if that arm comes around to get leverage coming across, that's what he's calling. How about the throw there from the back judge, though, huh?
Heck of a throw. I want him on my dart team next time I go to the bar.
Amen, man. That guy's throwing bullseyes. First down. PG bringing a lot of guys. Set up for a double pass. They've got a man wide open, and it's picked off. Oh, what a job coming
over.
They had Carter Sheffield undefended, and the corner, who I think was Gabe McCoy, cut off the route and picked it off as a penalty flag came in here after the interception.
Gabe McCoy, new favorite cornerback in the whole state. He is out there. He does not play like a corner. He was like, ball in the air.
Well,
he was like a seagull on Finding Nemo. Mine.
And we've talked about that wind. It's left to right on your screen, so that ball's in the air, and you've got a pass from a running back, right? Like, that's going to be a challenge, as they call an unsportsmanlike here, but it will be PG football off the interception.
You know what? Most of the time I don't support unsportsmanlike, but when it's a celebration after an interception, I might let that one slide if I'm a coach.
You know, I wasn't on the field. I was doing other things. I don't know. I'm not going to go into that.
But that's what PG needed. They needed a stop.
Totally, yep.
And they got it.
So first down now, Vikings, starting at their own 10 after the unsportsmanlike penalty. The defense coming up with an extra possession.
I think you'd rather have the ball with the personal foul than not have the ball.
Agreed. First down. Rasmussen throwing a little screen here. A little bit of room. McCoy, first down, taken out of bounds at the 21.
Great blocking by the receivers. That's what you want to see from the receivers. Getting your receiver a lane, getting down the field, beautiful.
We got trips again here, moves to the top of the formation. Maybe have numbers advantage out there, too. They're going to try to take advantage of it. 6, 7, 8, 9 yards.
PG is going quick. These guys must have a heck of a conditioning program because I'm tired and I'm standing up in the booth.
Well, and you look at the two sidelines, and no offense, I love Vikings. You got a 6A team, and there's not a big bench there for PG on that other sideline. You talk about how many guys go both ways. They're going tonight. Trips again here to the bottom of the screen.
Numbers.
They'll run. Not against this front. Second down, a loss of 2.
The ball, number 22, Matt Morris on the stop for the Falcons. Number 16.
Be a 3rd and 3 here for the Vikings.
Skyridge's sideline is confidently saying, punt return team, get ready.
Students trying to cheer on this D to get another 3rd down stop. Showing pressure up the middle. They bring it. Rasmussen trying to slip past it, and he'll be wrangled down for a gain of 1, and now PG facing a 4th down.
That was a pretty aggressive tackle right there at the end. Especially on a quarterback. This isn't WWE, so you got to be careful with that.
And Rasmussen is limping here. He's trying to get to the sideline. You talk about that tackle, it almost looked like he literally got thrown down. His trainers now looking at Carson on that sideline. Boy, that's a big note if you're a PG fan.
Yeah. I think the returner needs to be a little bit farther back with this punter and this wind.
Okay, he's stepping back now. They'll reset the play clock here. Well, I think. Yep, there we go. So the back judge threw the delay. The referee was trying to reset it, and we'll get it now all taken care of. Back judge didn't even get a time. I mean, they're on mics, but the White Hats waving that off before they can even communicate. Anyway.
Sometimes that's what you do when you're the boss. You're like, I saw what you were trying to do.
We're good.
Close. Oh.
Man.
Like I said, you better get back.
That thing could make its way to the end zone. Oh.
Elite punt.
Did that go out at the 1? That was a 72-yard punt.
Oh, my goodness.
How do you feel, Moose?
I got chills. Oh, man. I think the punter got a swagger back. You love to see that. Pinning the opponents on the 1. I haven't seen a punt like that all year. I'm fired up.
A 72-yard punt.
Oh, my.
Sorry, 71. It was 71. No, it's 70. You know what? Math is hard. A 70-yard punt.
It was 61 because it's from where the ball snapped.
No, I know. It was snapped to the 29, wasn't it?
Oh, probably. I don't know. Either way, what PG needed right there, because who knows if they're going to pass out of this.
Well, Skyridge backed up. Stevens looking over. Still
they
time
thought
here.
They got the clappy clap. Time's running out, though.
Yeah, play clock down to 3. Stevens looking, and that ball overthrown. Intended target there was Burke.
I would stay away from Gabe McCoy as much as possible, to be honest with you. He's like an old Texas shooter out there. He doesn't play around. Gabe McCoy sounds like an outlaw's name, to be honest with you.
Gabe McCoy.
Oh, no, here comes Gabe McCoy into town.
Wanted for thievery and physicality.
Shut the blinds. Don't come near. Gabe McCoy is here.
2nd and 10 here for the Falcons.
I'm going to have a lot of fun with that name.
They'll go empty again. Surprised they aren't running it here?
Yeah, I am. Okay, maybe they're...
Little throwback screen. Lot of room.
Wow.
That'll get them out of the shadow of their own end zone, as that was Burke on the reception. But a penalty flag back here at the line of scrimmage.
If it's a holding in the end zone in the NFL, that's a safety. What about high school?
Yeah, I think it is. But this flag is not in the end zone, so this might be a lineup issue. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage, or it could be...
Too many men on the line of scrimmage? Covering a receiver? I wish I was in that huddle over there.
I think it's going to be coming back.
Illegal
ineligible man downfield.
Oh. We're learning our penalties year by year, Dane, and it's getting better.
Problem is that you just lost about 6 inches, so...
Well, you lost 20 yards and 6 inches.
Yeah, well, this ball is barely out of the end zone. It'll be second down and 10.5 here because you can't have a full 11.
And it looks like we've got a final. Corner Canyon just stamped their ticket to Rice Eccles. 35-21 against Lone Peak.
All right. I think that's the first.
Oh!
That ball out of the back of the end zone for the safety.
Wow. Miscommunication. The snap was a little bit high for Jackson Stevens. That means it would have been to the moon over my head.
And so PG, the special team, setting up the safety. The lead back here to the Vikings.
Punter of the Week award might be going to PG with that elite special teams play. We talk about offense, we talk about defense, but we love the special teams on this broadcast.
9-7, the advantage here for the Vikings, and Skyridge going to be kicking into that win. PG could have really good field position.
Now the big question, will the quarterback for Pleasant Grove be coming out, Carson Rasmussen, the former Corner Canyon Charger? Man, it is taking a turn for the cold tonight.
That wind, man.
I showed up in my Pat McAfee, arm out, sun's out, guns out, but the sun went down and the coat went on.
I'm just glad I didn't bring the convertible.
And the only thing that would make this better is a nice warm cookie. Anyone out there know?
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. I'm just teasing, Moose. I don't have a convertible. I thought you were going to catch that. I don't have one.
You know what? You do live in a nice area, so I wouldn't be surprised if you did.
I don't. Yeah, nope. This kickoff will be fielded, and a running start here.
Whoa.
Up across midfield, still on his feet. Mickelson, a nice return.
Riker Mickelson, he wasn't dancing anywhere. He got north and south, and he's like, I'm going south towards the end zone. Here we go. Man, starting on your opponent's side of the field is always a happy. The special teams have been elite.
Especially with wind at your back. You talked about it, Moose. They really didn't try to stretch the field when they were going into the wind. You can take shots here. Pew, 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 shots.
Man, Carson Rasmussen is one tough son of a gun.
Back out there. Oh, yeah, we got flags here. This one, I think, going to go backwards.
Carson Rasmussen, he doesn't enjoy the luxuries of life like you and I, Charmin toilet paper and whatnot. He wakes up in the morning, and he has sandpaper sitting there next to the commode. He is tough as can be.
Definitely a brawny guy. He's tough, gritty.
Drives a Ford.
Drives a Ford.
Not a nice Ford either.
Drives a Ford.
It's
First
an old
and 15.
Ford. Farmer's truck.
5 wide. Carson, quick out. Penalty flag again here on the play as this is caught by Bronco. Gets back to penalty yardage, but we've got to figure out
Bronco's
the flag
on
first.
The field too, though. Coming up, he's grabbing onto something.
That's a big one. We talked about his contributions offensively, but he's a big contributor defensively as well for this group.
Hopefully the wind was just knocked out of him, and that's about it.
We're going to step aside as we've got an injury timeout here for Bronco Winterton and the Vikings. 9-7, Viking football. We'll be back in the 6A quarterfinals. Edgerton was able to walk off the field. I think we'll probably see him again. Of course, you never know, never want to speculate. Another penalty, though, on PG. Going to be 1st and 20 here for the Vikings on a drive that could have started, did start in Skyridge territory. Rasmussen over the middle, and that was just beyond his intended target. Was looking for Peterson. McCoy nearly had kind of the backup route there.
You would say that's a dangerous pass, but with Rasmussen, just get the ball out, live to see another day, because he has been hit hard. And I don't know if he's going to be able to run after this as well. And that's a big component of this Pleasant Grove offense.
Yeah, that's a great point, Moose. We saw him kind of limp off, and he's still back there, but young man has 550 yards rushing coming into this game. We talked about the 14 rushing touchdowns. That's a big element to their game. Little screen, overthrew his man, incomplete. That screen intended for Wolfgram.
I really liked what Tobin Smith was doing right there, number 9. He was really just like a mosquito inside the netting while you're in Hawaii. He was being annoying for the offensive lineman trying to get that block. Couldn't quite seal him, and that ruined a lot of different things for the receiver.
3rd and 20 here for Pleasant Grove.
Big 3rd down, try to get some yards, but the puncher is still on this team.
Rasmussen running out of time. It's Toilolo again for this Skyridge defense. He gets home.
Man, you want to see a Division I player? Look no farther than number 0. Deshaun Toilolo is an absolute dog.
You want to know why they talk about the importance of an edge rush in football?
Tell me.
Toilolo.
That's
what he's done tonight. I mean, there's no better demonstration of it.
I like that Skyridge is now like, hey, we're
two
going to get
back.
2 guys back.
Yeah.
Let's get something going here. We're not going after the puncher as much now.
Probably a good call. Is this kick away?
Still a great
good
punt.
Kick. Boy, that one was tough to field. Caught it awkwardly, although cleanly at the 24. That's a nice job by Moya.
Is that Gabe McCoy that's punting it too?
Yeah.
Gabe McCoy is my favorite human being alive. Goodness gracious.
Oh.
No respecters of persons. He's a puncher after my own heart.
Moose was like, I liked him when I thought he was a quarterback.
Now
well, the moment I found out he was a punter, favorite player in the
goodness.
state, man.
Gabe McCoy, elite.
So Skyridge starting at their own 24. They'll run it on 1st down. Bouncing outside, get help on the edge, and look out. Room down the sideline to midfield. It's Carter Sheffield with his best play of the night.
Carter Sheffield's a guy you're going to hear a lot about tonight. He's a great running back. I swear there's been a Sheffield on this team since the induction of Skyridge.
Yeah.
And Carter is this year's latest and greatest model.
Boy, he's big, isn't he?
Oh, he's a big boy.
1st down, just across midfield. Oh, that snap too high, and PG's on it. Boy, they brought in Keneal Sweetwine at quarterback, and the snap couldn't be possessed by Skyridge. Instead, it's Thatcher Kuhn, the senior, coming up with the fumble recovery for the Vikings.
Thatcher Kuhn is one of those elite defensive ends, and Skyridge, they're just kind of shooting themselves in the foot right now. They've had opportunities, but they've got to get it together on the offensive side. That's 2 center quarterback exchanges that didn't go their way.
You have an interception.
Yep.
You've got a safety off of a rough snap, and now you've got a mishandled snap. Turnovers, man. Can't have them.
No, and this is what PG was able to take advantage of last time.
1st down Vikings, starting in Skyridge territory. They'll throw the screen. Guys on the field. Instead, it's Cale McCoy. Down the sideline, 1st down McCoy.
Man, McCoy, he's got some wheels. You love to see that. You were like, scoot, scoot, your boot, boot. And he got all the way down the field. Good job, Cale.
1st down, P. Oh, no, short. I thought he had it. My apologies. So it's going to be 2nd and 1 here for Pleasant Grove.
Still phenomenal effort. It looked like he ran about 20 yards.
Yeah.
Oh, refs are saying, what's up? raise the roof.
Hey, guys. Second down.
Oh, wow.
Man.
Who was it on?
Looks like offside here, the call.
So we had one of the players hitting himself in the head.
That'd be a
saying,
first.
Get your head in the game. Looks like defensive encroachment. Getting the first down. And you're in field goal range now.
If McCoy's the field goal kicker, you bet you
Heck
are.
yeah. I'm declaring him the field goal kicker right now. There's nothing that young man can't do.
Oh, first down. It is the penalty called on Skyridge. So first down here for Pleasant Grove. Rasmussen. Ooh, trouble. Incomplete.
Man.
And
Rasmussen must have been looking on the other side, seeing the D-line, walking into the stadium, and a Taylor Swift lyric may have popped into his head. I knew you were trouble when you walked in.
So I don't know if I missed something. Jackson Stevens is on the sideline. He's sitting on the bench right now. Sweetwine's still taking snaps. Or throwing. He's warming up. So I'm kind of curious.
It looks like Jackson's on an iPad, though, talking with his receiver.
It does.
Jack Burke, going over a couple little things there.
All right. Rasmussen on the ground. Boy, that leg looked okay there, didn't it?
Yeah.
Gain of 8.
Man, does he just eat nails for breakfast? That dude is tough as can be.
And tackled by 8, Oscar Barker. Third down.
3rd and 2. Quick snap, maybe too quick. Penalty flag here on the play. Boy, in this game, PG started so clean on that opening drive. Had some problems here getting back to that rhythm for the Vikings.
Yeah.
How much of that is maybe the speed of this Skyridge defense? They're trying to catch them off guard, Moose?
I think it's a lot of it because you're like, hey, let's steal a possession right here. And they were able to get the first down on the last series, on the last set of downs, because of a Skyridge mistake. Not so much on this one. But you are in 4-down territory. This is a pretty long field goal, even when you do have the win, that all of a sudden died.
Yeah, it just died, literally. 3rd down and 6 here. They'll go on the ground. Into the teeth of that D. Oh, boy, big hitting coming. Wolfgram, he'll be credited with a pair. And look, we talked about the first matchup. You ready for a fun fact?
Yes, I am always ready for a fun
Pleasant
fact.
Grove finished with negative rushing yards in that first matchup against Skyridge.
Yeah, it checks
As
out
a
with
team.
this D-line.
As a team. They negative rushing yards. Crazy.
How many negative?
I think it was like -9.
Man.
As
Goodness.
PG looking like they're going to let this clock just tick away. 4th and 5. Offense on the field.
No kicker. No McCoy.
They do have one timeout left. See if they try to maybe get Skyridge to jump here. Nope. We're going for it. Rasmussen looking deep. Has a man caught. Touchdown. Pleasant Grove. And it is Mekhi Peterson with the touchdown catch.
Mekhi Peterson, elite corner, great wide receiver, and that makes it a 2-possession game as of, well, waiting on the PAT.
On 4th and 5. You want to talk about a guy who eats nails? Hey, Carson, go throw a dime over the top of the coverage in the end zone on a 4th down.
Man.
What a play.
Walking Horse must have had Little John in his ear yelling shots, 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 everybody.
Point after, up, good. It is a 2-possession game. 16-7, your score. Pleasant Grove with the lead in the 6A quarterfinal.
Wow. That was a big play by Pleasant Grove. I wasn't expecting a shot to the end zone.
I wasn't either. I was expecting a clap.
Yeah. And then they said clap, clap, throw, touchdown, touchdown.
We got the clap. I just wasn't expecting them to run a play.
So now we get to see how gritty this Skyridge team is. I'm excited to watch that now.
Well, what's their response, right? It's a team that they've had big moments this year, and obviously that first PG game, I thought they'd come out really kind of, hey, we're going to make things right, and they've had moments where they've done that, but the consistency hasn't quite been there. The turnovers have been probably their biggest problem.
Yeah, and if you get the center quarterback exchange down, That's going to make a huge difference. But it's going to be interesting what happens here in the next little bit.
So Pleasant Grove to kick off here. 5 minutes and change left here in our first half. Skyridge will get the ball to start the second half. And boy, a lot can be turned around if they can find a way to capitalize on this drive right before the half. As that did go out of bounds just in front of the pylon. So the procedure here, it'll be better field position for the Falcons.
Yeah, does the ball go to the 30 or the 35?
I think it's the 30. 35.
That's such a brutal thing. I remember one week we were playing Riverton when they still had the big hill, and I kicked it out of bounds, and because I wasn't used to running over the hill.
Yeah.
And then I kicked it out of bounds again, and I accidentally hit my coach. He grabbed the ball, and he started yelling something fearsome at me. And then I figured out the hill, and I kicked it into the end zone.
Do you mean the crown?
Yeah, the crown.
All right, biggest crown in the state. We don't have crowns anymore because everyone's
Bountiful,
turf.
I guess.
Bountiful,
yeah.
Hands down.
It was Riverton when I was playing. It
really?
was massive. It was dumb.
I don't know that I've ever seen one bigger than Bountiful's.
Where you can't see the other side.
Can't see the other sideline.
That's how Riverton was because they ran a triple option.
Yeah.
I was like, whoever invented the triple option with the crown in the field is
Look,
a
man,
jerk.
it's super easy to run downhill when you're literally running downhill.
Oh,
so
just like my walkway to schools, it was downhill both ways.
First down, drive starting at the 35. Stevens back on the field. That one too
high.
Goodness. Deflected and picked off. This one intercepted by Bronco Winterton.
Wow, Bronco Winterton. When the ball goes in the air like a volleyball, someone's going to bump set and catch that thing. My goodness. Wasn't ready for that. This defensive effort from PG has been unbelievable, Dane.
We talked about the offense of Pleasant Grove, but tonight it's been the defense. My goodness.
Locked down.
You could they've 3 extra possessions and a safety. Good night for this Viking D. First down, option play. On the ground, Mickelson goes helicopter ahead for a gain of 3.
Matt Morris with a great job right there. The thing is, these PG players feel disrespected. They feel like they're all nameless. No one knows who they are because there's so many of them, and they just platoon on in. The only one we really know is Gabe McCoy.
So this is crazy. Going into the fourth quarter in the first matchup, it was 20-7 Skyridge.
Okay.
PG could have that sort of a lead here at the half.
Man, it's playoffs.
It's a different night. Second down. Rasmussen hanging in there. That ball caught by Cottle. First down. Sean Cottle dragging the pile ahead to move the sticks.
So Sean Cottle didn't have 1, didn't have 2, didn't have 3 Skyridge players on him. He had 4, and he still willed his way to the first down. Goodness gracious.
You know, there's a saying in basketball, rebounding is about desire.
Yeah.
That first down was about desire. I just want it more.
This PG team has been disrespected all year.
They're
coming
man.
To play.
They'll run with Mickelson as he'll again pick up 2 yards on the run.
Good tackle by Ian Mariner right there. I'm keeping an eye on him tonight.
Region defensive MVP, right?
Yep.
We've talked a lot about Toy Lolo and his edge pressure, but when you bring that edge, if you can slip underneath that, you need a guy like Mariner to help get tackles, stops at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 8 here. Rasmussen thought about it. Open spot in that zone defense. McCoy with the reception inside the 20. First down, PG.
Kel McCoy, Gabe McCoy. Are they twins? There's a bunch of twins on this team. Of course there are.
We do have a flag here in the secondary down the field. This is near where the tackle was made.
What's the flag going to be? Dime. White hat, which means tell me in Spanish. Learned so many good things on this broadcast.
More than just football. It looks like this is coming back.
High five.
Unsportsmanlike there, the call. So it would have been a first down inside the 20. It will now be a first down.
Outside,
but it's going to be back
30?
at the 31.
Honestly, that might be like, as weird as it sounds, that might be a good thing if you're trying to bleed the clock down.
Well, the other thing is that if you want to attack this defense, we've seen them, the last possession, it's over the top, right? So does this give you more room for that offense to navigate?
We'll see.
It is 1st and 10. They're looking down the sideline. They've got a guy. And a flag coming in. Pass interference.
Flags.
Here will be the call. Boy, that PG receiver had a step. Trying to get the number if it's Peterson. I'm not quite certain who it is, but no, it was Cottle. Boy,
it looks like it was on the other team. Yeah, every single one of these receivers seem to be getting a step on the DBs tonight.
Yeah. And so the call here. Whoa, was that a clip? And then a pass interference here, so those penalties will offset.
2 flags on the play.
Really?
Penalties offset each other.
Boy, I haven't seen a clip in a long time.
What is a clip? Explain it to our audience.
Well, I think it's an illegal block below the waist.
Okay. Debatable call, ref.
Well, I don't know where it was.
I don't either.
So,
but I'll still debate it.
Moose always will. We'll replay the down here after the offsetting penalties. Empty backfield, little screen. Winterton gets one block, trying to search ahead. Tough 3-4 yards there earned from Bronco.
Man, making his namesake proud tonight for sure.
He was trying to go off-road there. See what I did there?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Good job.
2nd and 6 here.
And, of course, no running back, 5 wide.
But 4 to the bottom of the screen here. They took away that top route over the middle. Caught real close to the sticks, but going to be short on the reception there from James Clark.
Number 11, James Clark.
Be 3rd and 2.
18, Clark.
It looks like Skyridge is taking a timeout.
Yeah, the Falcons do take this timeout, recognizing this 3rd down. Big for their D. Timeout. Falcons. We've got a 3rd and 2 for the Vikings when we come back. 3rd and 2. Rasmussen, design, QB run, dives ahead for the 1st down.
Got a new set of downs, and that's all that matters to them.
All they needed. They needed 2, they got 3. So it'll be 1st down here at the 20-yard line.
They don't need anything fancy, just a couple yards and a cloud of dust.
1 timeout left for PG, 2 timeouts left for Skyridge, as we're inside of 2 to play here in the half.
And PG is bleeding that clock.
Yes, they are. Remember, Skyridge will get the ball to start the second half.
Just got an update from Will Osborne. Alta Hawks up 13-9.
That is on this 1st down. That ball come out?
No. The quarterback came out and was still running.
Wow.
Oh, Wolfgram.
Wolfgram, yeah.
He's like a Jaquiz brother or Darren Sproles out there. He's a magician. Now you see me, now you don't. Wow. That should have been a loss for 3.
That clock continued to run. Inside of 1:20 to go. That'll stop it.
Clap, clap.
And look, Rasmussen is still limping a little bit. That guy is just, man, you might have rivalries or whatnot with PG. You got to respect what Carson Rasmussen does.
I don't know what Alex Caressa does, but whoever plays with Alex Caressa, they play to a level like you wouldn't believe. Alex Caressa, the quarterback that played at BYU, played at Snow College, played at Portland State, and beat major P5 teams at Portland State. Shouldn't be able to do it, but he does.
2nd and short, and we have a timeout. Yeah. Timeout here, Pleasant Grove with 1:17 to go.
Successfully getting the clock taken care of. PG has been elite on this 5-minute drive of 35 yards.
They've had their moments a couple times where penalties or whatnot, but this half has gone just the way Coach Walkenhorst would love. He's got the lead and a 2nd down when we come back. 2nd and 3. 1:17 to go here in the half. Do you run it here, Moose?
I don't know. The quarterback sneak has been good, and all of this defense is spread out pretty thin.
Rasmussen looking end zone. Yeah, there was a tug. There was a tug.
The safety's saying, "Are you kidding me?" And the cornerback's like, "Yeah, I definitely did that."
Want to let you know a couple of scores we'll update you on in the 6A state playoffs. Moose, you mentioned Corner King defeated Lone Peak. That game is final. Davis Lehigh, the Pioneers, 45-7 with the lead last check over the Davis Stars of Region 1. And how about American Fork Bingham, the Cavemen, 28-6, the lead over the Miners.
Wow. Miners made it to the turf last year, but seeing those Cavemen, that's a sight.
So the penalty will put it inside the 10. First and goal from the 7. Whistles here again. And this, I think, will be on PG. You know, other action we'll keep you up on. You mentioned that Alta was leading Roy. That game 13-9 according to our latest check. You know, I heard some clown picked Brighton to beat Timpview. The T-Birds up 20-7. I can say that because that was me. I said if Jack Johnson was healthy, I thought Brighton could give Timpview a game. 2-possession game there. Springville leading Bountiful 28-21 in the 5A playoffs.
I just love that there's 2 field goals for Timpview. Definitely not a missed PAT. That would never happen in this state.
So after the PG penalty, first and goal from the 12.
The hard thing is healthy Jack Johnson, healthy Helaman Kasuga is a problem.
Rasmussen over the middle. Oh, what a catch. Touchdown, Pleasant Grove. I don't know how Rasmussen got that away. Bronco Winterton with the diving catch and the touchdown.
Rasmussen, little razzle-dazzle magic out there. He is not able to walk, but he's able to throw darts. My goodness. Now he has to hold after all that. That's almost why you don't want your quarterback to hold.
How about this? Bronco Winterton had the interception, and now Bronco has the touchdown reception.
Man.
Drive started, ended with number 1. Point after, up, and good. 23-7, the Vikings. What a first half.
We need to get some of that magical soccer spray on Rasmussen. He's limping quite profusely, to be honest with you.
We get an ice bath at halftime or something,
no, never ice. We're playing a second half. You got to heat that up. Because if you ice it, the muscles will contract, and then they are prone for tearage.
Like I said, can we get an ice, like some heat or something? Give me a heat pad at halftime. Heat pad at halftime.
Learn that one.
Yeah?
Yeah. Bad day. I'm like, oh, man, my hip flexor hurts. Let's put some ice on it. Coach came over and almost kicked the ice pack with my hip on as well. He's like, heat? I'm like, okay, calm down.
You know, when I go home for broadcasting games, it's not uncommon for me to put ice on it.
Really?
But that being said, I don't have to go out and broadcast another game, right?
Like, that's true.
I ice it, and then I go to bed. So,
yeah.
I wake up, and it feels great.
I've got an ice bath at my house for my runs. I'm so old now. I've got the compression leg stuff. Oh, man.
PG to kick off. A dribbler that will take a bounce. That was touched. No. And into the end zone.
If it's touched and you establish possession.
I think you have to establish possession and then go in the end zone. I don't think touching high school is a rule.
Okay. Minute left, and this is an explosive offense when they're clicking. A minute is more than enough time to get down the field and make this a 2-possession game.
Here's the crazy thing.
Tell me.
I don't want to say this is a must, like, you have to get points on this drive. I kind of wonder if you have to get points on this drive. It's 16, so it's a 2-possession game, but
you're used to this being a methodical Skyridge offense that just puts up points, points.
And right now, the stadium feels dead. Like there's not a lot. There's not a lot of energy in this stadium right now. 1:02 to go. Drive starting at their own 20. Stevens. Oh, that pass ended up in the dirt.
Man.
Was intended there for Kalama. We haven't called Kalama's name much tonight.
Yeah, we haven't. Sorry, lots of thoughts going on in my head right there. Of Kason Villa. Kalama, we haven't called his name in a lot. I was like, isn't he supposed to be at Timpview right now? My bad. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Second down. Stevens. Oh, he's got a man. This is the guy who's been the best option. It's Burke, Jack Burke, up the sideline to the 45-yard line.
And like I said, a minute is more than enough time, especially when you have 2 timeouts left, too. You can attack the edges if you want, but you've got to get some points on.
So first down. Stevens trying to get a play call here. Plenty of time. The clock is stopped because it went out of play or out of bounds.
They all know they're here to see him. Oh, numbers up top.
Stevens stepping up.
Oh,
that ball came out.
The ref threw the...
PG saying they have it.
Let's see what the ref says.
I thought that Stevens got back on it.
No!
PG has it. Another Skyridge turnover.
And it looks like it was 58. Thatcher Kuhn again. That is 2 fumble recoveries for Thatcher Kuhn. If I'm at college, I'm looking at that saying, man, if he can get this many, that's going to be crazy.
Wow. 43 seconds left. It's the 4th turnover of the second quarter for Skyridge. 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles, all in the second quarter. And now if you're PG,
you might
go
have an
score again.
opportunity to be up 4 possessions.
This is 3.
4.
It's 16 right now.
3.
That's okay. First down, Vikings. They're going to run it. Actually, I have no problem with that. You don't want to get greedy, right, in a game like this. There's 35 seconds left.
Just turned back on.
Yeah, but you also have a quarterback right now who, you might need a splint at halftime.
Yeah.
2nd and 11 is they don't have to run another play. Well, they will because Skyridge just took a timeout. Oh, we've got an injury here. Mickelson is slow to get up here for PG.
It looks like Matt Morris, actually.
22, yeah, Matt Morris. Sorry. No, it's Mickelson. There's 2 22s. It's Riker.
I am super smart. There are 2 22s. Riker Mickelson, you're absolutely right.
So injury here to PG. We're going to step aside real quickly. We'll be back with the final 22 seconds after this. Welcome back. Hey, Moose, I think you were right. Morris, number 22. We have a roster with 2 22s, and you were quick to point out Riker's number 4. So we went to a secondary source, and, yeah, we think that's Matt Morris. So he's able to lip off. We'll hope that he'll be okay. Is this clock moving again? That was not a Skyridge timeout.
Oh, they're throwing it.
Yeah, Rasmussen looking. Oh, not intercepted! And look out! No one's going to get him. Is that the play that maybe gets some rhythm for Skyridge? A pick 6. 65-yard pick 6 for Noah Bird. And Skyridge with a late touchdown to close out the half.
Wow. That is a huge move, and the whole team was on the field. You're going to have a couple penalties for that. That might be assessed on the second half.
Well, the clock's not expired. There's 3 seconds left here.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Wow, you have total control of the game. And that's one where I get it. You're trying to make a play. That's tough. That is tough.
Yeah.
Boy, what a play for Skyridge. We talked about there was not a lot of energy on the sideline, in the stands. The moment that happens, you saw that whole sideline run. Everyone stood up. Huge, huge play. Now, do you go for 2 here?
Yeah, I would, to make it a 1-possession game, but
well,
looks like they are going for 2.
So when do you take it? For me, I put it here on the try because they elect on the kickoff. Interesting. I would have done it here because you make the PAT or the 2-point conversion that much longer.
Yeah.
And now I think that that's going to be clarified here. Well, I don't know.
That's a huge penalty, actually.
Huge penalty. They are going to leave it at the 3. Nope, there we go.
Yeah.
So they are going to enforce it here. That's the right call. I was kind of shocked when they said otherwise.
Yeah,
now it's like, what do you do?
Upset and they're like, well, you can't do that, and you can.
Well, no, you can. They're going to take the point out or the point after here instead.
Coach Hammond is arguing about it. He's like, what about this? But there's a lot going on for the refs to figure out.
Yeah, so this will be a extended point after. This will be a 35-yard field goal try. And, folks, I've tried a 35-yard kick.
How'd it end up?
It's not as easy as you think. I was short.
Blake Hester's a good kicker, though.
3 seconds left. This point after. Kick is up. Oh, boy. Got the distance and drills it. No. Huh. They must have said that was wide, so no good on the point after. It's 23-13.
Yeah, sometimes you have to celebrate if it's any question because that was above the post. I thought it was good, but I don't know.
Well, the officials are right under it, right? We're on an angle. I like to give them benefit of the doubt because they have a better perspective than I do.
I don't. As a kicker, when I was sitting there, I've had a field goal called no good, that was good. And I've had a field goal called good, that was no good. So sometimes the football gods giveth and sometimes they taketh away.
23-13, the advantage for PG as they prepare to receive this kickoff.
But that does give Skyridge a little momentum going into the half.
It gives them something to feel good about. I mean, you have a 4-turnover quarter. It gives you something to have some positivity around, right?
5 turnovers total in that corner.
Yeah, nuts.
Now, I'd anticipate a squib kick, but we'll see what happens here.
Kicking off for the Falcons, number 50, Lincoln Kruger.
If PG touches it, essentially the quarter will run out. This kick is a little bit lower, will be fielded at the 13. Final seconds tick off, and that'll do it. First half comes to a close. Good half for the Vikings. They had a 23-7 lead before a 65-yard pick six from Bird gave Skyridge some good feelings heading to the break. We're at halftime in the 6A quarterfinals. The Vikings leading the Falcons 23-13. Welcome back here to Skyridge High School. 23-13, Pleasant Grove with the lead. Man, what a second quarter. It felt like we had more turnovers than a bakery moose, but the Vikings with a 10-point lead. Skyridge will get the football. If you're the Falcons, anything you look to do differently here in half number 2 in terms of how they tried to attack?
I don't think so. I think you just need to play clean, and when they play clean, they're an elite offense, but we just haven't seen it tonight yet. They got a good return to start everything off out on the 25, but you've got 75 yards to go. And we're going to see some different things, different looks coming up that I think Skyridge would have been saving for Corner Canyon or for American Fork. But they're in a win-now situation.
It would be for American Fork. American Fork leading 28-7. The winner of that, or 28-6 over Bingham, the winner of that game plays the winner of this game. That would be an intriguing semi, no matter the matchup, but yeah, they've got some work to do here. Trailing by 10. That wind kind of coming back a little bit, but right now it's kind of coming far side to near side on your screen. Is on first down. They'll run it. Pick up about 3 yards on the carry.
I like that they're establishing the run game early. They're like, hey, let's get going. Let's make sure that we're taken care of. And it's some good stuff. We're going to see a different offense, maybe a more methodical offense, because they trust their defense. And we're going to see if PG has Carson Rasmussen at 100% in the second half.
Yeah, we'll talk about that PG offense. What a show they had in that first half. Is this ball thrown? Kalama with the reception. Almost did a double take there, but able to get it to the 31 is where his progress will be stopped.
La'a coming from Wasatch. He's been an elite player all year long, one of the top players in the state, but he hasn't shown up as much as you'd like him to this year.
Well, and it was interesting because I did my prep before the game. I don't recall seeing his name very much. I don't know if he's been battling with injuries. I haven't seen a lot of Skyridge games this year. This is my first one, but it's 3rd and short here. They got about 3 yards to go, do the Falcons.
You'd be anticipating La'a after what he did last year to be all over this stat sheet.
Yes. They'll run it on 3rd down, and they'll, oh boy, that is close. They might be short. That line judge kind of had it, and then he came back a little bit. So call with the carry, I think, is a yard shy. He is.
Ball spotted at the
Boy, what do you do here, Moose?
3-yard line.
If you don't get this, that could be detrimental. So you're going to have to trust your team. The
Fourth
trip
down.
to the bottom.
They're going for it. Fourth down. Stevens trying to push the pile.
Oh, ball's out.
That ball came out. And PG has it. And this one is still up. Cottle with the football and still on his feet. Cottle inside the 20. And he's going to try to reverse it inside the 10. 5. Touchdown Pleasant Grove as a late flag behind the play. On a 4th and 1, the ball ends up in the end zone by the defense.
Real late flag, and it was just rethrown. Who knows, could have been a block in the back, could have been a plethora of things. But PG, the ball continues to bounce their way tonight. 4th and 1, and you didn't anticipate that happening by any stretch of the imagination.
This is crazy. I mean, I don't have back-to-back drives, Moose, but that might be the 5th straight possession with a turnover. They had 4 turnovers in the second quarter. Skyridge did. Their first drive of this third quarter, they start with another turnover.
5th turnover, and before
and that doesn't
that,
count the
safety.
Yeah. Oh, we await the call here. They wave it off.
Wow.
Touchdown, Pleasant Grove. A 34-yard scoop and score
PG.
by Sean Cottle.
Oh, Law Oz. This is his first game back after missing 7 in a row.
Yeah,
according to a wonderful fan, Nate Walker.
I was going to say, I don't recall seeing his name, so I figured there was some injury there. And to your point, there is, my goodness, 29-13, the point after try here for PG.
Now, Skyridge going into this next series after the PAT.
The kick is up, and this one is
good.
30-13, the Vikings, the defense again, creating points.
So 3 series behind, 3 drives have to score. This is what it's coming down to. This is must-score times for Skyridge.
Yeah. It's still 3 possessions, right? It's a 17-point game. But, I mean, how many more possessions do you have in this one? I mean, you have plenty of possessions, but you haven't shown the ability to hold on to the football.
Which is insane. Because this may be the most talented team in the state, college-wise, with college
more than Corner
offers.
Canyon?
Yeah, there's more college offers on Skyridge than Corner Canyon.
Wow.
Because you've got 2 linemen that are 4 stars, another that's going to go to college, another 2 that'll go to college. On defense, DeShonta Olio, the quarterback. You've got receivers. I mean, there's a lot of talent on this roster.
Wow. That's saying something, Moose. I'm kind of stunned. Dusty Lister's going to disagree, but that's okay.
Well, we'll see at the end of the day.
This kick
slipped on the kickoff.
And fielded at the 2. Looking up the middle here. Still on his feet as a penalty flag coming in again. Boy, the back judge has been active tonight, and we got a PG Viking here. A little slow to get up, and I think this one might be going against Skyridge, as it was Bo Goodman able to get up and jog off the field here, but he was down there for a moment. I think it might have been a hit on him that might have drawn the flag as we wait the call here, because that's about where they had that flag spotted.
Blocking the back. Man, I did not have this game going this way in any way, shape, or form. Skyridge is going to have to show their grittiness coming out of this half.
You know, these two teams have not played a lot. Skyridge is a young program. PG, all-time, 2-3 against the Falcons. They win tonight, they could be 500 against a program that has not won less than 9 games since their first year as a football program. That's crazy.
Wow.
First down, and on
nowhere to go.
Yeah.
PG is just gaining that momentum, feeding off the energy.
A yard on the play, second down.
A win tonight, PG could go to 10 wins on the season. It's been a long time since they've hit 10.
I mean, the last time they were at Rice-Eccles, Jake Jensen was the quarterback, I believe.
I think that's right.
The USC backup? How crazy is that?
I love that, by the way. I love that. I did a game at East, and East still thinking that call should have gone the other way.
Whoa.
Stevens brought down inside the 5.
Great sack by number 44, Trevin Gates. The late pressure from the inside linebacker makes a huge difference. And now you're in the shadow of your goalpost. You can't take another safety.
Last time this ended up out of the back of the end zone. You talk about Trevin Gates, young man coming in tonight, Moose, 128 tackles and 12 sacks for the senior linebacker Trevin Gates on the season.
That is so impressive, all probably because of Gabe McCoy's leadership.
Gotta be. 3rd and long here from the 3. Stevens has to get rid of it. Boy, he gets hit. This ball looking deep and incomplete. The intended target there for Skyridge was called.
So you have to punt here, but this is interesting because you don't work on this very much in high school, punting out of your end zone.
You got a short snap here.
You've got a short snap. You've got to be 1 yard off. Oh, no. Punter doesn't know that rule. So this snap has to be right on the money. The punter's heels are on the end zone. The rookie mistake right there.
A punt away.
Good punt.
Yeah, high spiral. And that's
Great
one
punt.
And it hit the Skyridge player right at about the 40, so that's where this is going to come back. So PG will start off in Skyridge territory once again.
Wow. The Vikings are going to take advantage of this clock and do everything they can to get out of here with a win. But wow, this is such an interesting game. You know AF is going to be watching this and be like, is that the same team we played a few weeks ago? Or Bingham.
Here's the thing. This might be
the most complete game I've ever seen.
This might be the best defensive performance it is all season. This is the best defensive performance I've seen this season. First down, they'll throw back. And a little screen here set up for Cale McCoy as he takes this inside the 40. Don't you think best defensive performance of the season?
What I love about this team, best defensive performance, but you're still seeing the receivers on that screen do incredible blocking.
Yeah. And the thing is, they're content to take 2 or 3 because they know eventually they're going to get 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, hey, we'll take 2nd and 8. We'll take 3rd and 6 because they've had plays where they've gone for 8, 12, 15 to convert on some of those long down distances.
And this crowd is just out of the game completely.
Completely.
Showed some life at the end of the second half, and then
it's not there.
Like a balloon with a hole in it, just.
2nd down, Rasmussen. Smart to ditch it. Now, I don't know if this might be grounding. He's got to be out of the tackle box. Past the line of scrimmage, did not get there. They dropped the flag at midfield. This is the right call.
Honestly, I would have grounded if I saw Deshaun Tolio coming at me, too. I would have been like, live to see another day.
And let's rewind it 5 minutes. What happened 5.5 minutes ago? He tries to make a play. It ends up in the other end zone, right? So that's a play I think you take being up by 17.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of the clock now, and you have to live to see another day. So is that considered a sack now?
I think it counts as a sack. I think so.
Congratulations on the sack, Deshaun.
If it is that his 4th or 5th tonight? It's a lot.
I thought it was his 3rd.
But I thought he had 3 in the first half.
Okay, 4th then.
3rd and long. They'll run a draw. Not much there. Don't mind the play call as Wolfgram will take it up to the 50, and that'll bring out a 4th down and Moose's favorite player.
The punt. So, if only we have a good punter out there. And, of course, we do. Gabe McCoy is back on the field.
In case you are just joining us, he had a 70-yard punt in the first half. It put Skyridge out at the 1. It ended up being
a
safety, which was at the time the go-ahead points for
Changed
PG.
the momentum of the whole game.
Yes, it did.
Oh, bad bounce.
Inside the 20, and we'll take a Skyridge bounce to the 22.
It's all right. You had a good punt earlier. We'll give you a pass on that, Gabe McCoy.
Look, it's going to hurt his average. He's now down to like 50 yards a kick. So
we're okay with that. He's still an elite cornerback. go straight from his punting spot to mark up on a receiver.
Now he'll go play DB.
As he was playing, I think he was playing receiver earlier.
Yeah, it's a group, man. I mean, this kind of feels like the way high school football used to be, like when I was growing up, right? When it's like, yeah, you play 2-3 positions. That's what PG is doing this year, and it's awesome to see him have this much success with it. First down, Stevens looking for that screen. Oh, well-touched ball. And here's Sheffield. Sheffield down the sideline near midfield. Carter Sheffield, another big play here out of the backfield.
Great job, great blocking. Everything worked out great on that play. So that's what you look for from this Skyridge team. Let's dink and dunk. Let's get some points on the board, and let's get going. Because you can make it a two-possession game real quick.
And they've shown that big playability. It's just being able to complete drives. We'll see if they can do it here. First down. Play action. Screen. And boy, that was read pretty well. McClellan able to pick up about 5 on the play.
What I like about PG, they're okay manning up all over the place. They're like, come at us because we have great athletes and we're going to go right at you.
Second down. Skyridge trying to pick up the pace here a little bit. Look out. Ooh. Your guy just got chipped late, and it set up enough for a first down here for Skyridge.
But great sportsmanship at the end right there. I really like Jack Burt. I like all of these players. That's what's fun about Utah. You're just like, I love every single one of these kids as if they're my own.
First down. This is only like a 3-play drive. This is probably their best drive since they were first when they scored a touchdown. They'll go on the ground. Sheffield undercut. That's a nice play coming up there to make the stop by Mickelson.
Mickelson, he's a stud. One of the lone juniors out there, 6'1", 195. I think he's a kid that's a next-level player, to be honest with you.
I think they got a lot of them. I think this PG team is very undervalued with the level of talent they have.
Yeah, college coaches need to be getting out there.
Second down, they bring edge pressure. Oh, Stevens just gets it away. That ball on the money, caught and a first down. Jack Burke once again, and Stevens a little gimpy here to get up.
I really like Levi Bazant up there in nose guard, big old 65, all 6'6", 315 pounds, saying I'll hold the middle.
Skyridge with some rhythm now. First down.
Taking their time, and the clock is not their friend.
Inside of 5 to go here in our third quarter. They'll go on the ground. Sheffield. Moose, this commitment to run right now feels
dirty
like...
laundry, though.
Penalty flag at 20, but this commitment to run feels like it's helping them to find their rhythm again, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And they haven't been a huge run team this year, but it's coming around, and it's fun to watch.
As we await the call here, and looks like it's going to be going the other way.
Oh. Drive killer.
Yeah, so this will make it 1st and 14 after that penalty.
Uncle Mo has not been kind to Skyridge tonight.
Has not. On first down, Stevens looking, has a man that caught, hit immediately. Boy, that's a big pop coming there from Mackay Peterson.
Mackay is one of the most underrated players in the whole state. He can hit, he can catch, he can do it all. I mean, if he was in Peter Pan, he could even crow.
Second down. Jackson Stevens. Looking, running out of time. Penalty flag here down the field. Looking to the end zone. And just incomplete. Boy was looking for McClellan. Almost made an athletic grab in the end zone. But I think we're going to have defensive holding here.
That's a good assumption from the back judge.
There's the penalty flag on the play.
Holding on the defense. Good call, Dane.
Boom. So that'll be a first down here for the Falcons.
Falcons will get a first down.
As it's getting colder, the Skyridge offense is heating up. Man, I still can't believe how huge that turnover touchdown was at the end of the half.
Huge. I mean, this could easily be a 30-7 game right now. Stevens over the middle, caught, touchdown, Skyridge. And it's Jack Burke, who's had a monster game tonight for this offense, to score the touchdown.
You knew it would happen. Eventually, Jack Burke is going to get his, and that was a great job by Skyridge. Luckily for the kicker, the PAT isn't at the 35-yard line now. 25-yard line, excuse me.
Looking to make this a 10-point game. This kick up. No doubt. That one's good.
That one's good for sure.
All right, so a little bit of life back in the student section of the Falcons.
A lot of bit of life. This game isn't close from over. And like we saw, it was a 18-point game or something like that when PG came back just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a 20-8 game in the fourth quarter. And it was no, that's not right. It was 20-7 because it was a 20-8. You know what? We're not doing math. It's the weekend, so we're not doing math. It was a 21-8 fourth quarter for PG to tie it to send it to overtime.
Gotcha.
You can back into it from there. That's all we got.
But this has been a very interesting game. All the scores, the fact it's 20-30, there was a missed PAT, there was a 2-point conversion. There's a lot of things that have been going on in this game.
How about a game that we've got defensive scores from both sides? We've got a scoop and score, or we had a pick six for Skyridge. We got a scoop and score for PG.
All facets of the game showing up.
Showing up, man.
Special teams got a safety.
As this kick into the end zone for the touchback.
Just a good feeling to see that ball cross the line. Now, how aggressive do you think Pleasant Grove is going to be?
I don't change a thing.
Really?
Nope.
Skyridge is coming back alive real quick. Getting that touchdown is a huge momentum boost for this whole entire side of the field.
And that's where, for me, it's like, does it instill a little more pressure on this PG offense?
I think it does.
But I think they dealt with it well tonight. They've done a nice job using screens. Look, run the ball for 2 or 3 yards. Like, we don't need any back-breaking runs, but we'll see what they do. Motion here on first down. And that one on the turf, and Rasmussen's got to eat it.
That is sack number 5 for Deshaun Teolio. First one there, Deshaun, surprising no one. Might be going for the sack record for this state before you know it. Because he still has another year.
Yeah. A loss of 6 on the play, that clock moving. Rasmussen, they're double teaming the edge. That one knocked loose. Ball's on the turf. And now it's the Falcon defense doing its job as the offense will take over in the red zone.
Wow, I believe it was number 57, Jet Hatcher. But my goodness, what an elite play. The chop to get the ball out, and you have a short field right now. This game is completely flipped on its head.
This PG defense has made some stands tonight. This will be their toughest situation. The students are jumping, fans are on their feet. There's life and energy back here at Skyridge Stadium. First down, Falcons at the 17-yard line. Sheffield looking for a lane. He stood up after a gain of about 4.
Sheffield was incredibly patient on that run. I like to watch that.
Number 13, Hood McBride on the Vikings stop. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Second down. Stevens looking end zone, and that one deflected. Boy,
wow.
McCoy just broke up what would have been a surefire touchdown.
And it looks like the Skyridge Falcons,
Call.
Trent Call,
So Trent Call
gingerly coming out.
Well, he was here on the sideline when the defense was out, and they were wrapping up his hamstring. And there, he was having to hobble off the field. It looked like he might have tweaked it once again. So
that's a big loss.
It's a huge
right
loss.
there.
He's been one of their top receivers this year.
Trent Call was really surprising because he was a quarterback last year.
Last year, he had to come and play QB.
And I called him Trent Call the Independent because he was so reliable like a newspaper every single day coming in. But Trent Call, that's a big loss for them. He's the second leading receiver, second leading touchdown getter behind Burke.
And, you talk about a guy who's experienced, right? And I think he's a senior, I believe. And so, yeah, he is. A guy who's been there, he's done it, he's really been kind of the guy to help this program through times. You talk about when Hillstead was injured last year, he was the guy. The offense ran through, did so much.
But if it's a hamstring, his night may be over.
He is trying to walk it off here on the sideline.
Still getting help, too.
Yeah. So 3rd down here for Skyridge. This is huge for this PGD. Huge for the Skyridge offense as well. 3rd and 7. Oh, boy. A little bit of their own medicine, Moose.
Yep.
We saw PG catch Skyridge a couple times in that first half, and this time it's the Vikings to jump.
The other thing that's happening is they had numbers up top with the trips. So let's see what they can do. It didn't give them the first down.
Nope, it'll be 3rd and short now. They'll be a yard and a half short.
Makes it now 3rd and 2 for Skyridge.
Stevens, little option play will give to Sheffield, and he's got the first as he takes it down to the 6.
And the option puts the ball in Carter Sheffield's hand.
Well, let's see. It's close.
Yeah, he's got it.
Okay.
And indication.
So, 1st and goal.
1st and goal, Falcons.
The whole playbook is open right here. We're going to see what Ham is going to dial up for these young men.
1st down. PG coming around the edge. That snap a little high.
Oh.
Stevens able to get out of it. Looking back, caught, and touchdown.
Flag
a
on
penalty
the play,
flag in
though.
the middle of the field. But that touchdown reception from McClellan, what a job after making the catch to stretch it ahead, if this counts.
The lineman looked to be almost to the end zone, so I'm going to say it was a lineman downfield.
On the 5-yard line.
But let's see what they call. An eligible man downfield on Skyridge, like I saw. Not very often are the refs and I on the same page, but on that one, it seemed to be that way.
Typically Moose are not known for their eyes, but you're going to change that, Moose. You were right on that one.
Oh, man.
You were a hawk, so.
Yeah, that is true.
After the penalty, 1st and goal now from the 12. Stevens looking for the end zone. Touchdown!
Great
It's Burke
catch.
once again.
Burke, elite play right there, going up, has the mind to pull the ball up, and that brings the game within 3 possibly, pending the PAT. This is an explosive Skyridge offense, and is what we were wanting to see this whole game. It was still close with the snap. They've got to get that down, but great throw, great catch, great response by this Skyridge team when all hope seemed to be lost.
To bring it back to a 3-point game, the point after try is up and good. 30-27, back-to-back touchdowns. Stevens to Burke has Skyridge back in the game. You're watching the 6A quarterfinals on KSLSports.com. Welcome back. You know, I feel bad for whoever loses this game because both coaches are going to be like, man, we had our opportunities.
Yeah. And gritty response by Skyridge. That's what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
I'm like, someone make a play, someone do something. Deshaun Tolio came in and does what he does with 5 sacks. Are you kidding me? Wow. And then great pass, great response by Skyridge offense.
This into the end zone, touchback.
And the kick lands on the wide of Skyridge. Vikings will take over at the 20-yard line.
What's absolutely crazy about this score, there hasn't been a field goal, and it's 27-30. It's weird that it's a 3-point game without a field goal.
Yeah.
Goodness, the weather is definitely taking a turn, though. I wish I had an igloo and a cookie.
PG starting this drive at their own 20. They'll run. This is Mickelson. Not a lot of room there. A couple of Falcons able to bring him down for a loss.
Number 32, Matt Morris. Runs into a bunch of Falcon wings. Loss of a yard.
Plethora of Falcons right there. Great job. So, I think if they can get a first down here, this could be the end of the third quarter, which has seen a momentous shift.
Huge.
In Skyridge's favor.
You know, we talked about Trent Call. They're actually working on the quad. No, it's the hamstring, sorry. Second and long. Rasmussen underneath. Nowhere to go.
Great tackle by 44.
Griffin Coons.
Griffin Coons, the sophomore.
And we've got a PG Viking down almost at midfield. Boy, that's Mekhi Peterson.
That's a huge player for them.
Yeah, injury on the field. We'll step aside. You're watching the 6A quarterfinal. Welcome back, Mekhi Peterson. Coming off the field, boy, very ginger. Certainly hope he's okay. He's been a gamer for him all year, tonight as well. Goes both ways. See number 6 go off. That's a huge loss as facing a 3rd and 11.
Wow.
Rasmussen. Boy, Toilolo gets there quickly. Dumps it off. Nowhere to go. 4th down.
Great job by number 21 right there to Tavian Edwards. Stepped him up, and then Ian Mariner came in and finished off the tackle. Great job. So this PG defense is going to have to step up once again because this game is getting a little bit out of hand, it seems.
Well, it feels like you talked about Uncle Mo's not been kind to Skyridge. I don't know what PG did, but Uncle Mo's not very happy with the Vikings right now. He's fully wearing orange and white here in this second half. 4th down, kicks away. Running start. And taken down. Stood up around midfield.
No, don't throw a flag on that. He was trying to run. Oh no, he's injured. That's not good.
Yeah, we got a Skyridge player down. We'll step aside. Another injury here. We'll be back. Welcome back. There's 8 seconds left here in the third quarter, so one final play here for the Falcons.
Tavian Edwards got up, really peppy, ready to go.
Yeah.
We're happy to see that. But PG has to step up if they want to see the turf this year. Oh.
They'll run it. And we'll gain about 4 yards. That'll do it. Third quarter in the books. Skyridge coming back. It's 30-27. PG with the lead as we head to the final frame in the 6A quarterfinals on KSLSports.com. It was Fafita who was down, was able to jog off. Looked like potentially a cramp there. 3rd and short here for Skyridge. Oh. Oops. They did it again. Jumped offside, and it'll be a first down.
It's crazy. Fafita walks off the field and Ben Howard takes his spot.
And now he comes back on.
Yeah. That's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. We just replaced a 3-star offensive tackle with a 4-star offensive tackle. Must be nice.
First world problems, right?
Yeah, no joke.
Sheffield looking left side.
Nothing.
Tough run there. Nice job by Lignell coming up to make the stop.
And now it looks like 79 Darius Afalava is just doing flips out there with his 325-pound body. Because of course he is.
Second down.
This Skyridge team is massive up front.
They'll run again, trying to stretch this out. McClellan trying to get the edge. Well, that's a big missed tackle because it will allow him to get the first down.
Man, the jet sweep is such a great play if you can get that edge. So hard to get, but when the blocking's right, it's a beautiful play.
First down, you see Skyridge trying to keep that tempo going for this offense. Stevens going to look over now. Five on the play clock. Coming around the edge. Little screen thrown out to Kalama. Cuts back inside. And will be brought down after a gain of 3.
Kalama missing 7 games is absolutely crazy to me, but him coming back today is big. They're going to need a huge performance from Kalama next week, though, if they make it to the turf.
So you mean to tell me Jackson Stevens has thrown for 3,600 yards without Kalama?
Crazy.
Okay.
With Kalama, it probably could have been 5,000.
Second down, Stevens, little throwback screen here, nowhere to go. Sheffield cut down, nice surge by Gabe McCoy.
Of course it was Gabe McCoy.
Of course it was Gabe McCoy.
Who else would it be?
He's showing out for Moose.
Love to see the punting from Gabe McCoy, but I really like the defensive play as well.
Third down here for PG. Sorry, for Skyridge. Third down for this PGD.
Okay. Third down for both teams, in fact.
It is actually third down for both teams.
Let's see what Skyridge has dialed up.
Stevens rolling near side. Little throwback. Picked off. It's Gabe McCoy.
Of course
He's got Stevens to beat. And is tripped up inside the 30, and once again, it's the PG defense making the play.
Gabe McCoy having himself a night. This PG defense, you can't float the ball on him. They attack the ball in the air. They attack the ball on the ground, and they are absolutely a turnover defense tonight.
That is unofficially the 6th Skyridge turnover. And remember, that does not include the safety.
Oh, my gosh. Both of these teams deserve to go to the turf. Let's just say that right here, right now.
So PG offense coming right back out at the 25-yard line. Rasmussen. Oh, boy, that one's close. It is caught. We'll turn it up for a gain of 5, but whoo.
I just love how PG's attacking the ball when it's in the air, on offense and defense, because that could have been 6 the other way easy.
Yes. Gain of 5. We'll see if they can get back settled here. Rasmussen running out of time. That is just sheer bull rush, pushing the O-line into the feet of Carson Rasmussen, a loss of 7.
Iakopo Malifu did a great job getting the sack. He is the sack leader going into the tonight, but I don't know if he is at the end of the night.
So it's going to be 3rd and 12 here for PG. And look, really, this Skyridge front, they have gotten to the quarterback quickly all night long. Even on passes Carson is completed, he's being hit.
Yeah, and that's why they're protecting Carson, bringing more men into the backfield.
Yeah, 2 backs here with Rasmussen. Looking. Stepping up. Has a man. Was that caught? No, incomplete. They say he was out of bounds. He did make the catch, but couldn't get the feet in. It'll be 4th down.
Incredible effort by Tanner Blake right there. This is just a senior-heavy team. I remember watching them play Brighton their sophomore year, and I was like, every single kid on the team seemed to be a sophomore. I was like, this team's going to be great their senior year, but they need 2 years to figure it out, and they have.
They have. They have. 4th down. We got a timeout taken. This is a big play. You don't want to go anywhere. 4th down for PG after this. 4th and 12. Offense staying on. Here's Rasmussen. Might have been hit. And that one dipped in the air, incomplete. The Skyridge defense gets the stop.
Man, this Skyridge defense will not be. Oh no,
and Toilolo is limping coming off.
Yeah, that is not a good sign. I don't know if either team's going to make it out of here. His foot does not look good after that impressive rushing.
No, he's having to be helped off.
Man.
Ooh, that is huge.
If there's something wrong with Toilolo.
I'll tell you, want to know how hard he hits? The logos on his helmet are either not there or the paint is flat off. Like, that's how hard that kid hits. 7.5 to go, and the Skyridge defense gets it back for the offense. They'll start at the 27. Here's Sheffield on the ground with the carry. He'll gain about 5.
Man.
Our clock just a little bit ahead. We're just going to stop it. There's 7:20 on the clock. It's moving. We're just going to let it catch up to ours.
Number 70, Luke Davies.
So we've got a 2nd down here.
This is such a huge drive for Skyridge. Every single point matters now.
7 minutes to go in regulation. Thrown out. Kalama makes one man miss, and then gang tackled for a loss on the play. He'll lose 3, maybe 4.
Man, this team was ready for those types of plays. They've done their homework. They know what's coming up at them. And this defense is tough as can be.
And it brings up a 3rd and 8 here for Skyridge. Looks like Toilolo's having that foot and ankle retaped on the sideline.
They're going to need them for this last series if you can't get a 1st down.
3rd down. Stevens and company. Trying to scrap, keep the night alive with a trip to Rice Eccles on the line. Over the middle, that caught 1st down. No, incomplete. No. The hit was made by Cottle to jar it loose, and it'll be 4th down.
There are some massive hits in this game, and it looks like there's going to be a punt coming up. And Toilolo back on the field. I don't know if I'd use him in this punt situation, to be honest with you, but whatever.
Boy, he's having some struggles putting weight on that left leg.
Save him for ultimately rush opportunities, but here we go.
This kick away. Fair catch signal, and taken at the 35.
Fair catch by number 3, Kel.
Good job, Kel McCoy, on that catch. It's tough when guys are that close to you.
No kidding, huh? You got 4 Falcons flying in on you.
I thought they were going to hit him, to be honest with you.
What a game. A lot of turnovers. Both defenses made great plays. Which offense can come up with the plays late to capture a victory?
Yeah, Deshaun is looking real ginger out there.
I mean, look, he's trying to get in his head like, dude, ignore it, go play.
But he's hurting.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want him out there at this point.
Well, I mean, if Toilolo's not healthy, what's better? A hurt Toilolo? I don't know who's behind him. But he's been pretty dominative.
But keep your eye on Zero. Let's see what he can do if he has the mental makeup to overcome this injury.
PG starting at the 35, trying to get back to a semifinal for the first time in about 5-6 years. They'll run. This is a direct snap to Bronco Winterton, and he picks up about 5, maybe 6.
I'm okay with that play call.
Agreed. I think this is where you don't need to go to your bag of tricks if you're PG. But look, you don't have to just drop Carson back and throw it every down either, right? Like, we can find other ways to get the ball. Look, maybe some fly sweeps, right? There's some things you can do to try to get the ball in other people's hands and spread it out a little bit. Winterton again here lined up behind center. Again, they'll do the same play. Winterton ahead for a gain of 4, and they're actually going to give them the first down here.
Well, here's the thing. If they can get 2-3 first downs, that might be the game.
Could be.
Gains to the 45-yard line for a Viking first down. Tackled by Kopo Malafau.
And if Carson Rasmussen can't go, you're just going big on big, saying, hey, we're running at you. What can you do?
Well, Rasmussen is still out there.
I mean, at the quarterback spot, of course. But here he comes.
Yeah.
Let's go, Carson.
There is no Carson Rasmussen can't go. We've learned that as the season's gone on. They'll stay on the ground. Hard-earned run of, they're going to step it back 3 yards here on the carry.
Wolfgren to the 50-yard line.
Deshaun can't go.
Stopped by Porter Loken.
They have not enough men on the field, it looks like. Nope, they're good. Okay, that wasn't Deshaun. That was number 8, not 0. I apologize.
They'll run it again. Wolfgram and Toilolo there to disrupt. Told you, he might not be 100%, but even not being 100%, he still gives you everything you could ask.
I have never seen more grit in my life. Loss of 4 yards. So you get 4, you lose 4. That's tough, but the clock keeps ticking.
Brings up a 3rd and 10. Moose, do you throw here or do you run?
I think I'd throw. You still have to be aware of everything that's going on, but your receivers have been elite.
We're inside of 4 to go. Skyridge has all 3 timeouts. PG has 2. They've got to get to the Skyridge 45 to pick up a first down. And movement.
5, 10, 15 yards, who cares? But gotta hold your water. This PG team has been in tighter situations than that. But it does stop the clock, so.
No, it does not.
Oh, it does not stop the clock. Does it not?
3rd and 15. They'll run it. Wolfgram able to get back those 5 yards, tripped up and stopped at the 45-yard line. That clock down to 3:20. And Skyridge going to take a timeout with 3:17 left in regulation. Timeout Skyridge, a 4th and 10. They'll be ready to receive the punt and get the offense back out on the field when we come back. Here we go, 4th down.
If there was ever a time you needed a big punt, it's right here, right now.
And there's no wind to help.
No. This is where you got to make a difference in the game. High snap.
They bring pressure, and it was a wobbly kick.
I think they hit the puncher on that one, too.
There's no flag.
That's where you got to sell it.
So Skyridge comes out, the offense, with 3:07 to go, starting at their own 37.
Is that Mackay Peterson coming out?
Yes, it is.
Holy cow. You love to see the grit of these kids. My goodness.
When he walked off to the sideline, he stayed on the same spot for a while.
I thought he was done for the night, and he's like, no, let's go.
No give up, man.
Oh, my gosh.
The Vikings don't quit, especially this group. 1st and 10, Falcons. Stevens, underneath,
ooh,
nearly intercepted. Oh boy, Riker Mickelson had flashes of Rice Eccles in his face mask there.
Riker was raring to go. My goodness.
This is not the point where you can afford a turnover.
No, absolutely not.
2nd down.
For how explosive both of these offenses have been, both of them are being stifled by the defense in this 4th quarter.
Stevens, designed run.
Oh.
Room up the middle. Jackson Stevens will pick up 9.
The ref got in the way on that play. You had number 70 for the team, Luke Davies, blocking the ref. And I think it could have been a lot more if the ref was not there.
They actually marked it back a yard. It'll be 3rd and 2 here for Skyridge. On the ground, Sheffield, first down. Carter Sheffield to midfield.
With this offensive line, you expect to get almost every 3rd and 2 out there. Here comes some big plays, though.
They'll get the call from the sideline here. Clock ticking, 2:15.
They still have 2 timeouts. They're okay with the clock.
At midfield. A field goal to tie, a touchdown to go up. Over the middle, picked off! It's Bronco Winterton! There's a flag down on the play, but Bronco Winterton with the interception, but we'll have to wait to see. Skyridge is saying this might be going against PG.
Yeah, these fans are not happy with that. Let's see what's going on, because there wasn't a Skyridge player narrow.
Well, he was trying to go down the field. I just don't think he saw Bronco underneath the route.
Official discussion.
What's the call? Holding on the defense.
Wow. So that will negate the interception.
That's a killer play. Like, that call right there gave life to Skyridge when you thought they were dead.
Down to the 40-yard line. 1st and 10, Falcons. Jackson in the pocket, running out of time. Trying to get it to his men, and I don't know if he got a foot in. No, he did not.
No.
That's a heck of a grab.
There's a flag down here,
and
though.
this might be roughing the quarterback, potentially.
Could be on the quarterback, or it could be a holding. Looks like it's roughing
I think it's
the
going to be
passer.
roughing.
Man, 2 huge penalties called right there for Skyridge.
Yeah. And so the Falcons down to the 25-yard line. Stevens. Looking, running out of time again. And this one did get past the line of scrimmage. It's incomplete.
The backfield for the PG Vikings has been elite. Them covering that much space for that much time, getting their rushers to the quarterback, I mean, there's not enough to be said about that.
And this is against a very talented wide receiving corps. It's not easy to stay with. They'll run on 2nd down. Sheffield, just brought down. That's a big tackle made there for Pleasant Grove.
Yeah. To Wolfgram. He said he wanted to be a football player. I believe now. You are a football player, young man. Get rid of the baseball mitt.
3rd and long here. 3rd and 7. And they jump offside. The 3rd penalty on this drive alone.
He was trying to draw the offense offside, did not do that, lost his footing.
So it'll be 3rd and 2 here instead. You run with Sheffield?
I would. I think Sheffield's been doing a great job, but we'll see what they do here.
Clock ticking. We're approaching 1 minute to play. Skyridge with 2 timeouts left. PG has 2 timeouts left. Really the last drive of the game for Skyridge, at least in regulation. Stevens looking to throw, and incomplete. But a flag here, I think, is going to be coming back. It is Peterson with the pick, who again came back on, but a flag here, and I think this is going to be defensive holding.
There's a flag on the play after 15 yards.
I've never seen 2 interceptions and 2 flags on one drive.
On a game-winning drive, nonetheless.
But let's see what the call is. It could be a plethora of things.
Thanks for having my back there. I thought that one got past. You were all over the interception. Thanks, Moose.
You got it.
Officials here discussing. This may be taking longer than I thought. Skyridge is ready to go. They feel pretty confident in here. One official going to go over and have a conversation
Why
with.
is he talking to Holding?
Yeah, there you go.
On the defense. First down.
It will be a first down for the Falcons.
And then did we have an unsportsmanlike after? Oh, sideline. My bad.
Timeout for PG. They're going to collect their thoughts.
Timeout Vikings. We'll be back. 3rd and 2. 48 seconds to go.
It should be a first down. It's not 3rd and 2.
Oh, you're right, because the penalty.
They just haven't moved the sticks yet. Walking Horse is still yelling at the refs. I think he doesn't agree with the call that was made.
Well, I think part of it is from a PG perspective, you've got 3 or 4 penalties that have continued the drive. And if you're officials, you say, hey, look, we're not the ones playing. Like, we have to call what we see, right?
Yeah, but Walking Horse was not mad. He took a timeout to voice his displeasure.
Yes, he did.
For a solid 3 minutes.
It's 1st and goal here for Skyridge, and the penalties have been probably the best offensive player for Skyridge on this drive.
By far.
Here's Jackson Stevens looking, end zone, just overthrew his man, was intended that time for McClellan.
This is not necessarily a guaranteed score. This PG Vikings defense, they've had 2 interceptions on this drive that have both been called back. They've had a lot going for them. This offense has not been rolling, so we're going to see stuff.
They've really done a pretty good job of matching up with Skyridge receivers down the field.
The crowd below us is yelling, run the ball.
2nd down. Stevens, little throwback, and that is incomplete.
Just a bit outside. He's going to want that one back.
McClellan, the intended target again. 3rd and goal from the 8.5.
And you can still kick a field goal and send this to overtime.
That's correct. The first game went to overtime.
So if you think you have the momentum and you don't get it, that's always an option.
They do have 2 timeouts left, too. You don't have to necessarily throw it here. PG, no jump on that snap.
PG looking a little confused on the defensive line.
Play clock down to 1. They got to burn a timeout here.
Man, this crowd is up in arms like I haven't seen before.
Moose, you started off the game with saying this is a program that has championship expectations, aspirations. You think of, you climbed the top of the mountain last year. You win that state championship, but it's a program that's gotten to Rice Eccles consistently in recent years.
It is so hard to win a championship. Only a few teams have done it back to back, and I'm going to make sure that I hold my water. Thank you, Dusty.
This is going to be in for a heck of a finish. It's one of those where the crazy thing is we haven't seen a point scored in the 4th quarter. Neither team has scored in the 4th.
No, not one, which is crazy. With all the offensive explosion that's happening, all of a sudden you're like, where'd it go?
Yeah.
The defense is like, we're here.
Yep. 3rd and the ball game for these 2 teams. The winner advances to the semifinal. Jackson Stevens looking underneath. That's McClellan with the reception. Caught at the 3.
He's short, though.
Well, and here's the thing. I think you let this tick down and kick the field goal, right? It's 4th and goal.
It looks like they're going
Offense
for
is
it.
on the field. And PG here going to take a timeout. 18 seconds to go.
Coach Hem was hitting his clipboard. He said, I wish we had that. We had the perfect play drawn up to get what we wanted.
All right, Moose, what do you look for here? If you go for it, what are you looking for here on 4th down?
Honestly, for me, I'd probably do a jump ball to 14. Burke, I think that he's one that can handle the pressure and handle this situation. Or send Burke to do that and maybe send La'a Kamala out there into the flats. But we'll see.
They're not going to go for it.
It's 4th down.
They're coming out to kick the game-tying field goal.
I'm okay with that.
Me too.
Because it's basically a PAT in all reality.
It is.
And I love that this is going all the way to overtime.
To tie the game at 30 in the quarterfinal. This kick is up, and it's good. 30 apiece. Skyridge with their biggest drive of the game.
Oh my goodness gracious. This is what I've been waiting for all year, Dane. A great game with you calling it up. I'm stoked. And a kick at the end. First field goal of the game. Shows you how important the PATs are.
Man, this is so crazy. The first game went overtime. PG won at 34-31. The second game, we're 13 seconds away from overtime. 2 epic battles between these 2 programs here this year. Region rivals. And, boy, you can't complain about the efforts either side has had tonight.
Absolutely not. The only thing you can complain about is not having an igloo jacket at this point. It's cold!
Oh. Skyridge to kick off. It's not guaranteed of overtime. Special teams, defense for Skyridge. Still got to make a couple plays to assure that.
I've seen kick returns happen multiple times.
Yep.
And that ball is cold. It's hard. You don't know if it's going to go in the end zone or not yet.
This kick will be fielded at the 3. Looking right side, Mickelson to the 25, the 28. And PG will come out with the offense with 5 seconds to go.
How important was that pick 6 at the end of the half, Dave?
Yep.
That makes the difference. If that doesn't happen, this game is over in 6 seconds.
Yep.
Defensive touchdowns make a difference.
And yet, on the other side, you can have Skyridge say, how big was that 4th and 1 scoop and score? If that isn't returned. Because here's the thing, Moose. Has PG's offense got a first down in the second half?
Yes, they have.
Okay.
At the third quarter.
Okay. But it's been a drastic. What we saw from the offense in the first half for PG, we have not seen in the second half. The Skyridge defense has been much improved in half number 2. The only points for PG in the second half came from the defense.
Yeah. And that's what's been nuts. You're like, PG's offense was so explosive the first half. You were like, this game might be over. But now we're sitting here, and we're going to overtime, and I love it.
All right, our first overtime game of the season, Moose.
Oh, finally. My goodness. I'm sick
right.
of blowouts. I'm sick of all that. This is what I live for, Dane.
So there are some rule changes to OT, but not to start it off. So we'll have alternating possessions starting at the 25. And you can think of it kind of like baseball, right? First sequence where one team outscores the other. That's your ball game.
That's true. So it's not college rules?
What do you mean?
So it's college rules overtime, right? Where you can score and then the other team gets an opportunity to score.
Yes.
Not
Now,
NFL where first person to score wins.
I think it's starting in the third overtime.
You start going for
2-point conversions.
Yeah, which I don't like. They should just do field goal alternations.
More people would not like that, Moose. We got 3 minutes between now and overtime. We're going to step aside. We will be back overtime with Wrights. Tickets punched to Rice Eccles. Welcome back. Coin toss has been done. It will be the Falcons to start with the possession.
Man, you're getting your money's worth for your ticket of admission this game.
Woo. For the second time this year, PG Skyridge to overtime. And if memory serves correctly, Skyridge had the football to start overtime. They lost that game 34-31.
My goodness.
So, here we go. Start of the 25. Jackson Stevens and company. There's no time other than the play clock.
Both of these defenses have been stout. Which offense is going to blink first?
Or will it be the defenses that get the job done? We've seen defensive touchdowns for both teams tonight. Jackson Stevens on first down. That one deflected and caught. Woo! Burke coming up with that one out of the air.
Wow.
I think everyone held their breath on that one.
I was looking for the ball, and so was everyone else real quick.
Unofficially, according to my notes, 6 turnovers tonight for Skyridge.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Second down. Stevens will give to Sheffield. Sheffield with room inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. First and goal.
Man, Sheffield has been waiting for that. Standing on pins and needles.
Nearly 20 yards.
Big play. 20 yards, basically. I wonder if they look to Sheffield again at this point.
I would. I think the way that your offensive line is playing, grade the road. Stevens has it, going to try to run it himself. He'll be brought down at the line. Maybe a loss of a yard on the play.
Not a bad call right there. I like it, actually, where it's like, hey, if it's open, take it, but he got north and south when it wasn't open.
Yep. And Stevens does a nice job to not get too over anxious and force something.
Cool as a cucumber.
Second and goal.
Man.
Sheffield, touchdown.
Sheffield finds his lane, gets the touchdown. That is huge. Now for the PAT, this is so important as well. Sheffield did great on that overtime. They needed him, and he stepped up huge.
Skyridge to go up by 7. It is up, and it is good.
Wow. Skyridge came out, showing their offensive prowess at the end right there. An incredible job by them. PG has to answer, and their offense hasn't done much for this whole second half. They're going to have to grit one out here, and they know what they have to get, and that's a touchdown.
That is the first rushing touchdown for Carter Sheffield tonight. All right, so PG, Moose, we've seen they haven't really been able to run the ball in the second half. The pass rush from Skyridge has been a problem. What do you do here offensively? How do you get 25 yards?
Well, honestly, I like Makai Peterson. I like the matchup over there. Feed the young man.
Students making noise. Trying to cheer on this Falcon defense, which has been great in this second half. They'll throw back. Double pass. Look at end zone. It's wide open. Peterson caught. Was he in? No, incomplete.
Oh, really?
He didn't have the ball. Got knocked loose.
They separated the ball at the end. That was really good. I thought he caught it.
I
and
did
he was
too.
saying out of bounds. Great play call right there, actually, but the refs are talking to each other.
Boy, and Peterson was wide open.
Wow.
That's a great recovery on the outside there.
What
it looks like maybe a
refs
penalty,
talking about?
maybe ineligible man downfield. Yep. I think that was Tavian Edwards in coverage. He got beat, and he was able to get back, help knock that ball loose.
Incredible recovery speed right there. The ball was up in the air a little bit too long.
It was, yep.
But great play call, and then a 5-yard penalty to replay first down.
Yeah, so 5-yard penalty. It's 1st and 15. Rasmussen. The throw out. Bit of momentum there. Turning upfield here by Cale McCoy. We'll pick up about 9. And that's the offense we saw in the first half from this Viking group.
Yeah, Cale McCoy did a great job right there. But the other receiver blocking, that's what made that play go.
2nd and 6. They'll come near side. Same play. McCoy turning upfield. First down. What a run after the catch. And again, it's the blocking.
You always say, let's make the pile go back, and Kel McCoy is a personification of that. Wow.
So they dig out of 1st and 15, and now Skyridge, that D, trying to get set. Rasmussen will look over to the sideline here for the first down call. Carson looking, end zone.
What?
Did he get a foot down? No.
Oh.
It was a heck of a grab by Cottle, but his first foot to come down was out of bounds.
Incredible defense right there, because I thought that was the most spectacular catch of the year almost.
Almost.
Wow.
Coverage by Tavian Edwards.
Tavian making 2 huge plays in overtime.
Actually, I think that might have been Mark Baird at the bottom of the screen. Tavian's at the top. Regardless, nice defensive play. 2nd and 10. Oh, and that one was just behind. Cottle was trying that slant route.
Cottle was trying to get down. His foot slipped out from under him, and sometimes that just happens.
Third down for Pleasant Grove.
Even though it's 3rd down, you still have 2 downs to get to the first.
Yep. The Skyridge students starting to leave their student section. They want to go celebrate if their defense can get off the field. Rasmussen running out of time. That one deflected, and it's intercepted. No, incomplete. Incomplete. You had 2 guys, Porter Logan and Mark Baird, both going for the cementing play, and it falls to the turf.
By Austin Baker and Ian Mariner.
And it'll be 4th down.
Big 4th down play right here.
And a timeout taken by PG. Ball game hanging in the balance. They want to talk about it.
Parker Rivers in the end zone threw his helmet off. He would have been ineligible to come back. Just thought the game was over from his point of view, but there's 1 play left, and it's never over until it's over.
Where do you look here, Moose, on 4th and 10?
Honestly, they've done a great job attacking the sides. PG needs to just spread the team out, get the ball out, but what I'm really worried about is the pass protection. That's what's going to make or break this time.
Also, please look around.
I want to remind you, first of all, it's been a great ball game. It's been a fun season. It's not over yet. Win or lose, we got semifinals next week, 6A, 5A, 4A semis, all day Thursday, all day Friday. Moose and I will be up at Rice Eccles with Dusty and Jeff. Come hang out with us on the alternate broadcast. We're going to have all sorts of fun, bringing coaches, players from across the state, and coverage of the state tournament like you've never seen before Join us on KSLSports.com for semifinal action next week.
This is the perfect game to go into that. I'm hyped.
Yes.
I'm so stoked for the end of this game and the beginning of the championship games.
4th and 10 for PG. They got to get to the 5 for the game to continue. Inside the 5 for the game to continue. Rasmussen rolling to his right. Looking back, trying for Cottle. Deflected, incomplete. That's the ball game. The Skyridge defense makes the plays in the second half and in overtime to lift the Falcons to the semifinal.
You've got people rushing the field, but what an exciting game. PG should hang their heads high. They did really good.
Moose, your final thoughts and a selection of player of the game?
Honestly, Deshaun Teolio was my player of the game with what happened here. But it was a back and forth like I couldn't believe. Now the student section is rushing the field. And congratulations to Skyridge on making it to the playoffs and the turf.
Player of the game?
Deshaun Teolio.
Sorry, I think you said that and I didn't hear you.
Yeah, sorry, it's
There's
really
a lot
loud.
of noise up here. Big night, Skyridge. They get revenge from the regular season loss. It may not have been the prettiest, but hey, it got the job done. 37-30, the Falcons advance to the semifinal, where they will take on American Fork. Deshaun Toilolo was a monster defensively to help lift Skyridge. For everyone here, thank you for joining us. For Gavin Atkinson, Moose Bingham, my name is Dane Stewart. We'll see you next week for the state semifinals, only on KSLSports.com. Good night, everybody.